Steve Parry, and I'm here to tell you about British Gas Swim Britain. British Gas, they've got a great aim. They want to get more people swimming regularly by 2015. So in order to take part in Swim Britain, you've got a team challenge. There's 4 of you. You've all got to swim 1,000 metres. You do 250 metres each in a relay until you've done the 1,000 metres. Swim Britain is going to help you get fitter and healthier, and they're even going to give you tips along the way. It's all going to accumulate in 10 events in September at venues across the country. Now, logistics of this event is super easy. You're going to get a swimming cap, a t-shirt and a timing tip to pick them up at the venue on the day. So all you need to think about is the regular stuff. Your swimming goggles and a pair of trunks. You could wear these, or perhaps some of these. You might want 2 towels as well instead of 1. So you'll need 1 towel for poolside and also a towel for when you get changed at the end. Maybe a bit of shampoo as well. And last but not least, make sure you take some water with you. So how does the Swim Britain relay work? Well, you've got to get your teammates. Here's one of mine, me Chris, just happens to be an international swimmer. I'll have some of that. He's going to lead off. Let's go, Chris. Yes. When he's done his 250 metres, he's going to make sure that his timing tip registers. Don't worry, there'll be people there on the day to make sure that that happens. Chris is then going to walk over to his second teammate, who's going to be in the transition area, and he's going to give him a high five. Nice high five. Then Chris is done. He's good to go. He can go have a little bit of a rest. It's going to get very crowded if all of you are waiting at the end of the pool. So we've got a rule. Only the person that's swimming next can be in the transition zone. So Swim Britain's going to be like no event you've ever done before, largely because of these bad boys. They're actually called boys, and you're going to have to swim around them. When you're swimming down the pool, you've got to keep the boys to your left-hand side. And when you're swimming back up the pool, you've got to keep it to your right-hand side. Just keep an eye out for them. Big orange things, can't miss them. Stay as tight as you can to the boys. You've only got to swim 250 metres. There's no point swimming any more than that if you don't have to. Once you've got your team together, make sure you get the opportunity to train together. Set yourself both an individual goal. You know what? Challenge the other guys on your team as well. You might surprise yourself and with some good training, beat the time that you thought you were going to go. What about making some hoodies with your team name on there? You're taking on everyone else in Swim Britain. You've got to get in there with the right frame of mind. Maybe you want to go in some fancy dress. I don't suggest you swim in the fancy dress. That may slow you down a little bit. Maybe you could even come up with your own song, you know. I can see all 4 of you doing the Gangnam Style. Maybe not. But most of all, make sure there's some cracking banter between you and your teammates, and let's maximise the fun that we're going to have on Swim Britain. Good luck and enjoy.
So away we go. There's one little swimmer left. And the crowd, fair play to them, are giving them plenty of encouragement in lane 7, which is Kit Lawless-Coombs from Leeds. They'll be powering home now, but all them boys are giving everything, and it's a great accolade just to complete this event, isn't it?
It is. It is. I mean, I know lots of people who'd be delighted if they were able to swim this distance and quickly. And it's not just a case of swimming the distance, but how fast they can go. There we are. He's done 21:22.
From Leeds. They'll be powering home now, but all them boys are giving everything, and it's a great accolade just to complete this event, isn't it?
It is. It is. I mean, I know lots of people.
Right, welcome back to the Wales National Pool Swansea. We believe that we've had a few technical issues on the live stream, and we are now back up and running, as you can hopefully see, and you're still by your laptop or your tablet, and we do apologise for that. If you just basically, when we went off air, you've missed the 1500 metre freestyle heat number 1, the final result of that. You'd have been watching and seen Gethin Jones far ahead, and he finished far ahead, fair play to him, so he came in first. In second place, Mary Francis and William Robinson came in third, so a massive congratulations to them three, showing great stamina and a bit of speed towards the end to win that freestyle 1500 for boys between 11 and 14 years old. Joining me in the commentary box here, we've got Norma Rolls, from President of Swim Wales. I love that title. How did you become President of Swim Wales?
Oh, right. Well, over the years it's changed. Now it's more of a figurehead role. But you have to be nominated by your area, and you have to accept the nomination. And then the board now decide whether to accept that as a nomination or not. So I've been president now since 2004, I think. Formally, you were president for 1 year at a time. So I was first president in 1997, and I was nominated by my area, and I served 4 years. Junior vice president, president, and immediate past president. And in those days, you chaired every committee. But now everything has changed, and it's run by a board. So it was a very important job at one point. But I think it's a great honour to be asked to be president, and I'm delighted to be the president. And I follow Welsh swimming whenever I can and watch what they're doing, and try, whenever it comes on Facebook or something like that, I try to send a congratulatory message to our Welsh swimmers.
Yeah, fantastic. You know, I mean, as a president, you know, you're obviously travelling across Wales to watch and get involved in swim events. How much time did you actually put into the role?
Right, well, not so much as you used to. When you were president a long time ago, you would often be asked to go all over the place. I live in North Wales, and I commentate in Llandudno at our regional pool, and I will go to club galas there if they ask me to. My husband and I travel down here 4 or 5 times a year normally, and it takes us about 4.5 hours to get here by road.
Yeah.
But we enjoy it. We love being down here. We've got loads of friends down here, and well, we just enjoy it. So.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Right then, as you can see, the swimming is underway. This is heat number 2 of the 1500 metre freestyle for boys between 11 and 14. We'll just go through the 8 that we've got competing. Yeah, we've got a full field this time. In lane number 1, we've got Com Tobin. In lane number 2, from Ellesmere, we've got Jack Bacon. In lane 3, Kelvin Cockcroft. In 4, Jay Manners. In 5, Josh Lewis. In 6, Greg Roberts. In 7, we've got John Cooper. And to finish the field from St Thomas Swimming Club, we've got George Cowan. Now, all 8. How many laps is 1500? It's quite a way, isn't it? Is it around 30?
Yes, it's 30 laps. Yeah. And you have to go backwards too. If you're commentating, the lap counters go backwards, so they come down, and you have to be good at maths and work how many 100 metres they've still got left
Norma,
to swim.
I could never do that job because I'm out of the equation straight away. My maths is pitiful. So let's give a mention to the volunteers that we've got here today, because none of this could happen without volunteers, could it?
Absolutely not. No, we rely. It's just like the Olympics. I was so pleased at the Olympics that the volunteers got such a mention and such good press, because there's no way we could run this without volunteers. every single one of these officials is a volunteer. The people who do the catering and things like that, without them we wouldn't be fed during the day, and you wouldn't get people to come along. Just about everybody here is a volunteer and absolutely vital to the sport. One of the things I try to do on a regular basis, especially in North Wales, is get people to come along and volunteer, train as officials. They train as an official and they travel all over the place to do the officiating, and they don't get paid a penny.
Yeah.
They might get some travelling expenses if they're lucky.
Yeah, but fantastic. It's an absolute great thing to do, and it's great that so many people are happy to support the sport and push it forward into the direction it needs to go. Right, we'll have a quick look at this, quarter way through this 1500 heat. At the moment, we've got Jay Manners in lane 4 leading the way, and it's quite close at the moment. They're quite bunched up together. They're then front 4 in lane 2, 4, 5, and 7. All kind of biding their time, and it's about biding your time in a race like this, isn't it, Norman?
It is, yes. I mean, if you can keep with the favourite, and the favourite in this is usually in lane 4.
Yeah, who's in the lead, Jay Manners, yeah.
If you can keep up with the favourite, the leader, then you stand a chance at the end, if you've got more left, of just sneaking past at the end. And at the moment it looks as though Josh Lewis might be doing that. He's certainly hanging on there, and they're in lane 7. We've got John Cooper. He seems to be hanging on as well, as does Jack Bacon in lane 2. So at this stage, I would say it's anybody's race, but the favourite is
Jay Manners.
Jay Manners, yes.
Okay, Jay Manners. We'll go back to your role as president of Swim Wales. Obviously, you said you've been involved for quite a few years. So the new international swimming pool in Cardiff and having a competitive club there, how has that affected and improved the competitiveness across Wales swim-wise?
Very much so. I mean, going from having one 50-metre pool to having 2 is fantastic, and that's wonderful here. But in North Wales and Mid Wales, we have to travel. If we want to train in this pool, as you've heard me say, in a car it's 4.5 hours. So a coach to bring swimmers must be much longer. So our swimmers generally have to go out and pay to train over 50 metres in England. And the people from Mid Wales as well. We're currently lobbying to try and get a 50-metre pool in North Wales because they need the experience. It's a completely different experience when they come into something as long as this. You can get a slight advantage every time you turn if you're good at turning.
Yeah.
You're 1 turn down, 2 turns down on every 100 metres if you're in a pool of this length. So it is vital that they go along. Now, having the 2 pools we've got is wonderful, absolutely fantastic, but we're never satisfied and we'd like a couple more.
Well, I don't blame you. Go for gold is the expression I would use there. So you're lobbying for that pool in North Wales. That's absolutely fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
Is it at the early stages of that lobbying?
Yes, it's very early stages. It's a refurb of a swimming pool that's been there, and it's under consideration at the moment. So what would happen, whether they'd be able to use it or not, for competitions, we don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll cross our fingers on that one and hope to hear news in the future about that pool in North Wales. Let's turn our attentions back to this race then. Jay Manners, as Norma said, is the favourite in this race, going on seeded times, and he is leading the way right about now.
No, I think
he's not. He's been passed, actually,
yeah,
by 5.
Josh Lewis has overtaken.
So Josh Lewis is taking it to Jay Manners, because Josh will be aware that Jay's the fastest swimmer when it comes to PBs and seeded times, and he's really going for it now. Is this wise so early in the race?
If he knows what he's doing, that's fine. If he's laying it down that he can do this, that's great. All power to his elbow, really. He doesn't look as though he's under any stress at the moment. We don't know how long ago it is that he set the time that he's got there. He may well have swum faster in training recently and feel confident about it. He might just be trying it on to see if he can force Jay to come out and commit himself a bit more and perhaps tire himself out. So
yeah, well,
we'll just have to wait how this develops.
Yeah, Josh Lewis in lane 5 has just had a split of 8:21.91, and Jay Manners he's around about him, 8:24, and in third place in lane 7 we've got John Cooper. at 8:30, and then Jack Bacon in lane 2 is in 4th place right now. There's a bit of a ding-dong battle going on there between lane 7 and lane 2 for that 3rd spot right about now. It'd be interesting to see if one of them want to make a move on the 2 that are leading the pack.
This is what I find really interesting, is that when I was first involved, in the 1500 metres they would go out, you'd have the fastest in the lead and so on all the way down, and you'd very rarely have a close finish. Nowadays you see close finishes all the time, and that's the difference. That's how much we've improved.
So when you're in the swimming pool itself, I mean, it's important that swimmers learn to breathe on both sides so they can have a look to the left and to the right to see what's around them. But visually, how much can they see during the swim?
I'm not very sure, to be honest with you. I think it depends on you as a person. You certainly should be turning to both sides and keeping an eye on your competitors. Personally, I find it very difficult to see. So I suppose it depends on you, yourself, and how well you are, how good you are at things like that.
So on the split there, how are we doing time-wise here? Is this
well,
faster
I
than
think the last 100 that Josh Lewis did was about 1:18, I think, 1:18.7. So he looks as though he's slowed down a little bit again now.
Yeah, they're starting to look a little bit tired out there.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just taking a gap in the middle of this race and they're going to burst again in the last quarter or so. As we said, it's 30 laps back and forth. Around about the time we're looking for these guys in this heat, most of them will hopefully aim in to finish under 20 minutes. So hopefully that is the aim for them. And as we said earlier on, Norma, this morning session, a lot of personal bests being broken, and that is so good to see, because that is what you're aiming for on a daily basis, to see if personally you're achieving your aims.
That's right, yes. We don't know when these times were set, of course, but what they're looking for is, and you'll see the disappointment from some of them when they finish. If they haven't done a personal best, they will get very annoyed with themselves, which I think is very positive. I think when the public are watching and they see an athlete get upset, they don't realise how much is invested in that. This is my job and I've got to do it, and I feel that I've failed. We know they haven't failed. There are all sorts of reasons why, but sometimes you just can't do your best. And the fact that they are annoyed with themselves, I think, is a good thing, because it spurs them on to the next time. We saw it in the tennis. They get cross with themselves if they don't do the very best they can.
It's all about setting your standards high, I'd imagine. If you don't really achieve goals, then it's disappointing, isn't it?
It is. I think Josh has now done the last 2 100s in round about 1:18 pace.
So that is a sign that he's in control of what he's doing, and he knows where he's at within the swimming pool.
Yeah, just work this one out.
So that's
a 1:18 again.
Okay.
So it looks as though he's on a steady 100.
So to drum that into yourself in training, whose role is that? Is that the coach kind of saying, hurry up? Because it's a hard thing to learn, isn't it?
It is. It's very hard. I don't quite know how they do it. I think it's just say, you get used to the pace, how many arm strokes you need, or how many leg kicks you need to keep that pace going. And once they're in the routine, well, then they just carry on doing it. So it's communication between athlete and coach. The coach telling them this is what you did, them being aware of it and trying to replicate that over and over.
Okay, if you're just joining us now on the live stream, welcome to the Wales National Pool Swansea. This is the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013, and we'll be streaming live for the next 7 days from South Wales, where almost 1,700 swimmers will be travelling here to take part in the competition. There will be swimmers from Scotland, England and Wales competing, so it's a truly great event with a lot of competition on a high level. And already this morning we've seen many a personal best being absolutely shattered in the pool, and we expect to see the same thing at the course of this afternoon, this evening and for the foreseeable 6 days. There'll be 20 sessions of top class swimming, so this is really the place to keep it if you're a swimming fan or want to get into swimming on any kind of level. I'm joined by Norma Rolls, President of Swim Wales, in the commentary box, and we're currently eagerly watching heat number 2 of the 1500 metre freestyle for boys. between the ages of 11 and 14. If you missed the first heat and were hoping to catch it, Gethin Jones from Swin Conwy won that one. In second place was Meyrick Francis, and third was William Robinson from Wolverhampton. So congratulations to them. And if you want to catch up on any of the results, then go over to swimwales.org. All the results and information that you need will be there waiting for you. Now then, Norma, back to this race. We're around, where are we at this race now, time-wise?
Unfortunately, I can't see the lap counters, and that's how I keep abreast of where we are. But Josh submitted 19:46, so about 2/3 of the way through, I estimate.
Okay, so he's got about, you say, 6 minutes to go in this race, perhaps?
Yeah.
So is that 6 minutes the time when he starts to open his his tank of energy and go for it, or will he just kind of keep it where he is? Because he's quite comfortably in the lead.
He is now, yes, and he's pulling away slightly. And he's been doing 1:18s, and it's just another one, 1:18 again. So he's swimming in a regular pattern now. He'll probably wait until the last 2 or 100, and then we'll see him. We might, over the last 200, see a gradual build-up, and then sprint as much as he's got left on the final 100.
Yeah, so Josh Lewis from Thanet showing some great display of spirit, mind and body control in the pool right now, and he's clearly in the lead. In second place we have, well, it's fair to say he was the favourite, the fastest swimmer before coming into this heat, Jay Manners from Durham City. He's in second place, and them two will be thrashing it out. He'll have to make a move pretty soon, Jay Manners, if he wants to catch Josh Lewis, but right now Josh Lewis is looking very comfortable ahead of Jay Manners in second place. And in third place, we've got Jack Bacon in fourth, John Cooper in lane 7. And it's an intriguing race because of the strategy involved. And once you're ahead, it's not always fair to say that you're going to win the race, because it can change, can't it?
It can. We saw that a couple of times this morning in the sprint events. Whereas they had 100 to do, and going down the first length, there'd be one clearly in the lead, and then on the second length, so the next one would come past and overtake. It's a case of knowing what you can do, knowing your race and how much you can do, and having the courage to go out and do that. Let the other person think they're winning, and then come from nowhere seemingly and overtake them.
Yeah, well, that always ends up like a fantastic watch when that happens,
doesn't it?
That's
very good for the crowd.
Yeah. So you were saying about control there. They're obviously, as they're swimming, they must take a personal control about the laps they've got, because they can't put it in the hands of someone else, can they? Because that's a risky game.
Well, you can't do that when you're in an event like this, because you're on your own in the water. I think one or two coaches have a way of communicating with their swimmer, but they can't actually communicate. It's not allowed. And so you've got to know what you're doing yourself. And Josh clearly does. So it's very impressive, swimming at the same rate over and over again.
Now, Josh Lewis is the age, he is only 13 years old.
Yeah.
So progression-wise, not only for Josh, but for everyone involved today, what is the progression level? Where does the journey take them next, and to become possibly that Olympic athlete?
Yeah, well, he's come out possibly to get more experience in another area against swimmers he won't meet where he lives. So that's all experience for him. What he needs to do now is look at qualifying times in various different competitions and try to break into the big time, for want of a better comment, and just aim to get those qualifying times and to get into those competitions. So he's got to be constantly improving. But look, I think I've got a feeling that Jay might be coming back.
Yeah, Jay Manners is definitely stepping it up right now. Josh Lewis is still in the lead. He's just clocked a 17.2996 turn there. But Jay Manners is definitely after him. He's had a soft touch against the wall, so his time hasn't appeared on the clock. So he's definitely, he's very, very close. 17.4207 there from Jay. Yeah. So he's not letting him go quite yet, is he?
No, look, they're almost level now. It's going to be interesting when they get down here now.
This is the interesting part.
And the bell, we're going to hear the bell now, so it looks as though Jay has timed this to perfection. So Jay takes the bell, and then Josh.
Yeah, Josh in lane 5 is in the lead in the first place. 18:09:08. Josh Lewis, it's been very, very impressive so far. The bell indicates what exactly, Norma?
That they've got 2 lengths left to swim. So, you know, go out all out for it. It's very difficult counting while you're swimming. They should know where they are, but that's just a little reminder. You've got 2 lengths left.
So this
and look, Jay's leaving him behind now.
So this is time to really go for it and fly away.
Yeah.
With it. This is where you kind of keep your reserves, but you don't want to be anything in the tank. You don't want any reserves by the end, do you?
No. You want to swim the very best race you can.
Yeah. Josh Lewis, I believe, Norma, is still in the lead, so maybe he has lapped Jay Manners. I'm not quite sure. I think that's what's happened.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Because John Cooper now is in second. Jay Manners is now in third. So Jay Manners has really fallen behind in this race.
I'm seeing the lanes the opposite way around to the way I normally use them, so perhaps I'm counting the wrong lanes
It's
here.
okay. So as we come to the conclusion of this race, we've got
that was a brilliant
lane
swim.
5 is an absolutely amazing swim by Josh Lewis there. Fantastic stuff. 19:21:37. And he'll be extremely happy with that.
He's very happy.
Look at him, he's about to look at his time. He doesn't even look tired.
No, they don't. I don't know how they manage it, but no. Here we are.
Fantastic stuff. John Cooper
Jay.
there coming in lane 7 for second place, and Jay Manners, who really just kind of fell away in the dying stages of that race, unfortunately for him, came in 4th place, and Jack Bacon in lane 2 beat him to 3rd place. So really a role reversal, proving that anything can happen in the last dying stages of a race.
Yes. I say I'm getting my lanes confused. I normally work from the other side of the pool, so I've got lane 1 closest to me, and when I announce in North Wales, I'm end on to the pool, so they go from 1 to 8 across.
That's no problem at all, Norma.
Sorry about that.
You've come here to help us out this afternoon. You're doing a sterling job, if I may say so. So we'll give you the clarification of that result one more time. That was heat 2 of the 1500 metre freestyle, and in first place, as the scoreboard slowly works it out for us, we get an official response, so that everybody watching in Scotland, England and Wales can know where we're at. But that was an one thing I can definitely tell you, that it was Josh Lewis that won, and it was an extraordinary swim, and he led from more or less the start, didn't he, Norma?
Yes, he did, and for somebody so young to have that mature a head on his shoulders is absolutely excellent. And shows, I think it shows good communication between him and his coach.
So here we go. In first place, we've got Josh Lewis in lane 5. He was first. John Cooper in lane 7 was second, and third place Jack Bacon in third place from lane 2. And Jay Manners just fading, unfortunately for him. He did swim a good race though in 4th place. A superb effort from the Moor though, to be fair, because it's no mean feat, this race, is it?
Oh no, it's not. It's a lot of stamina, and a mental stamina as well as physical. I mean, they have to think. If a prospective employer sees club swimmer on an application, they should be aware of just what these kids can do.
Yeah, because it shows a dedication, doesn't it? Basically?
Yes, it does.
And the constant early mornings. I don't know how they do it. I've got to be honest with you, because it's a routine and a half. Do they swim after school as well? Is it just?
Yes, a lot of the time they do. And if they don't swim, they do land training. There's an awful lot of things that they do. An awful lot of them take it up, of course, because they have a health problem like asthma.
Yeah.
And the way people overcome things like that by swimming is tremendous. It's really good for them.
Right, we're into the third heat of the 1500 metre freestyle for boys between the ages of 11 and 14. We'll just tell you who's who as you're watching on the live stream. In lane number 1, we've got James Cross. In 2, we've got Ryan Retson. In 3, we've got Scott Birtles. In 4, we've got Jack Boniface. In 5, Max Jelfs. In 6, Richard Mawson. 7, Thomas E. Thorpe. And in lane 8, to complete this race, Ki Ren Lu. Hope I got your name right there. Apologies if I haven't, to any family or friends watching from afar. So, as we've said, it's a long race. How come? What does a 1500 metre swimmer need compared to, say, another swimmer that swims 200 metres? What are the qualities that they possess?
Well, I know that in athletics we have fast twitch and slow twitch fibres, and swimmers have the same. If you have fast twitch fibres in your body, or more fast twitch fibres, then you will go faster, so you're a sprinter. And slow twitch fibres, you are going to have the endurance and become a long distance swimmer. So that's and I don't think we've got any way of knowing what sort of fibres they have.
Yeah.
Although probably somebody somewhere can test it. It shows when they're swimming. You can see the ones who can go on, who've got plenty left and can go on, but can't win over 25 or 50 metres. They haven't got the sprinting ability. So it's the difference between Mo Farah and Usain Bolt.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, if you're joining us, well, welcome to our coverage from the Wales National Pool in Swansea. A warm welcome to you to Quipu TV's coverage. It's live on the internet, as you know if you're watching, and this is the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013. Over the next 7 days, we're bringing you action from 20 sessions of top-class swimming and some of the very best swimming talent in Wales, as well as the rest of the UK, because there will be clubs from Scotland, England, and of course Wales competing here in Swansea throughout the next 7 days. Now, if you're watching on Wi-Fi or 3G, remember you can watch on your tablet as well as your computer in your house. So if you want to go out and enjoy the sun, please take your tablet with you. It's available on all formats. Also, we're on Twitter, and we want to get us trending if we can. The hashtag is hashtag BGSNLive. Send out your good luck messages. If you're here today, maybe tweet about the success members of your family or your club has had, or if you just want to wish people the best or ask a question to Norma or myself here in the commentary box, we'll try our very best to answer that. So the hashtag one more time is hashtag BGSNLive, and why not at Swim Wales in that tweet as well. Brilliant stuff. Okay, so as I said, the swimming is underway here. Heat 3 of the 1500 metre freestyle. I'll remind you of who's in what lane, etc, etc. So in lane 1 we've got James Cross, in 2 Ryan Retson, in 3 we've got Scott Birtles, in 4 Jack Boniface, 5 Mac Jelfs, in 6 Richard Mawson, in 7 Thomas Ethorpe, and to complete this race so far we've got lane number 8, which is Kieran Lau. Now this is a great example, Norma, of the swimmers from all over the UK competing, because we've got someone from Wigan, the First Swim Club, we've got Dun City Aquatics, Mould, Maxwell, Leeds, Wrexham and Beckenham, sorry. And this is what we wanted, isn't it? Everyone
Absolutely,
from all
yes.
the UK getting involved.
Yes, that's right, yeah. Unless you go out to all the big meets, you won't know what the rest of the country can do. So you might think, I'm pretty good at this, and then you go into a competition and suddenly you're the last. They need to come out and swim in as many competitions as they can to see where they stand in the rankings. And with a lot of people, that will spur them on to do better.
Because exactly, if you come to this and this is your first event today, you've got the crowd, you've got all the volunteers, and knowing that you've got people from all around the UK, you can really put yourself up against the best in your category.
That's right.
And there must be a very special feeling and a rewarding feeling for everyone involved, from the coaches to the family and to the competitor.
Yeah, well, I have a group on Facebook, Swim Wales North, and we get people putting on there what their children are doing, and rankings are really important to them. And after the swim here at Easter, they suddenly realise my child ranks this much in Wales, and it was appearing, and that's great. It's great for the children to see their name up there, the parents, and the other competitors as well. So if now we can say, right, I swam in this competition against the best swimmers from all over England and Scotland, and look where I finished. That again is a spur to improving.
Yeah. And earlier on we mentioned Jazz Carlin, Georgia Davis, Yean Lloyd as well, who swims in Penarth as well. This is where they all started, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. And you've got Tom Allen, who's a 1500 metre swimmer in now open water. He started in North Wales. He's swum for Swim Swansea here for a very long time. They all started at this level, or lower level than this actually, and had to work their way through. And it's only by dedication and effort over all those years that they get here.
Okay, we'll turn our attentions back to the race. We're about a quarter of the way through. Lane 4 is showing that he wants this quite a lot at the moment, and that is Jack Boniface from Mould in North Wales. You'll be very happy with that, Norma.
Yes. Well, I have to be very careful. I'm the president of Wales, so I have to be neutral and be pleased for all the swimmers. So I try very hard.
Okay, well, I won't get you into that trap again. I do apologise.
That's all right.
So Boniface is leading at the moment, but then we've got in lane number 6 Richard Mawson, which is from Leeds, and he's trying to keep on his tails. But as we've said time and time again in these 1500 metres, it can change in a lap, especially towards the end of the race. And that's exactly what happened in heat number 2. If you join us a bit late in heat number 2, it was a great swim by Josh Lewis, and he really led the way. But that race completely flipped in the end. Jay Manners was in second. He ended up 4th, and John Cooper came second in that race, and Jack Bacon from Ellesmere came second in the end on that one. So if you want any of the extra results or any information on something you've missed today from the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013, then head over, open a new tab on your internet page right now and go over to swimwales.org, and all the results will be refreshed as we speak, and it'll keep you up to date on what you need. So this race, Jack Boniface, now lane number 4. Because he's lane number 4, he's the fastest seeded swimmer in this race.
That's right.
Therefore,
That's
the
right.
favourite.
Yes, in this race.
So,
in this race.
from your experience from kind of being around the young swimmers and stuff, does that favourite tag mean anything? Does it cause tension, or they cool with that?
Oh no, I think they all aspire to get into lanes 4 and 5, unless they're particularly clever swimmers who can qualify just and swim in one of the outside lanes. But most of them want to get to 4 and 5, because there you've got the better chance of seeing all the other swimmers and knowing where they are in the race. So that's the one they're aiming for.
Brilliant stuff. So how are we looking at the splits at the moment? We've got obviously Jack Boniface in first place. He'll be making his way down now for this split, so we can start marking his progress. But as you said earlier, we're looking for 100 metres to be consistently around the same time, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because that shows that they can control what they're doing and they're aware of the speed they're swimming at each lap.
That's right. That's right.
So as Jack comes to the wall here, we'll get his split time.
That's 8:29.45.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that now for the duration of this race.
And we need to keep an eye on Richard Mawson from Leeds there, because he's not a million miles away from Jack. Perhaps he's just biding his time there. He's in lane 6.
Now, when it comes to strategy between a coach and a swimmer, who decides on that strategy? Is it the swimmer's body telling them this is going to be my plan, or is it the coach kind of saying, I think this should be the plan?
I think it's communication between the two and trusting each other, so that if the swimmer said, but I felt really easy, I felt I could do more, he needs to negotiate that with the coach. I think give and take on both sides. If the coach really feels that, you've got that wrong, you've got to tell them in a way that doesn't put them off. It's good communication. It all comes down to good communication.
And speaking of communication, remember we are on Twitter today, or our hashtag is definitely on Twitter. It's hashtag BGSN Live. If you write your tweet at Swim Wales in it as well to get some promotion for them, and your tweets will be read out later on as they come to us. And please do send your message of support from all over the UK if you're watching from Scotland, from England, or from Wales. North Wales, as Norma said, it's a 4-hour drive to the top of North Wales. So many of you will not be able to come down here today to Swansea to support your family and friends. So please do get involved. The hashtag, one more time, is hashtag BGSN Live. So get involved. That's British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013. So do get involved. You're currently watching us on the online stream from youtube.com/QuipPew TV, so make sure you stay with us for the rest of the day. If you want results you've missed, please get involved, swimwales.org. All the results will be waiting there for you. So we're around halfway mark on this race, Norma,
yes.
And Jack Boniface is quite comfortably in the lead, isn't he?
Yeah, he's about 10 metres up, and no, he's not even 10 now. Might be 7. He's not that Richard Mawson isn't that far behind. So if I was Jack, I'd be trying to keep an eye on what he's doing.
Yeah, because
Jack did the last 100 in 1:15. I'm just going to see if he's maintaining that now.
Okay. So as Jack makes his way,
yeah,
he'll be making his way through to the wall now. It's all about pace and strategy and keeping yourself calm and keeping your mind in control so you can count them laps as they go.
Yeah, that's about 1:14, 1:15. So he's on a regular pace, and he's swimming quite strongly. His legs are moving very quickly there.
Yeah, he looks he does look very strong. You're right there, in complete control of his body.
Yeah.
So at the moment, he is leading and quite comfortably doing so as well. We'll try and update you any second now on who's in which place. So Jack is in the lead in lane 4. In lane number 6, in second place currently, is Richard Mawson from Leeds. And them two are really the ones. They're far, far ahead of the field right now and really pushing the pace compared to the others. And this is where the stamina really starts to kick in. They've got over the halfway line. They've got to really push now through that second half of the race and have a big finish.
Yeah, they've got to have enough left, not just to get them to the end of the race, but to be able to go faster as they get closer to the end, so that they can finish ahead. But both of these swimming very strongly.
Yeah, very strongly indeed. They're ahead of the rest of the field. I'll give you the lanes for the rest of the field, just in case you're keeping an eye out for somebody in particular. In lane number 1, we've got James Cross. In lane number 2, Ryan Retson. In 3, Scott Birtles. In 4, Jack Boniface. Max Jelves is in 5, Richard Mawson is in lane 6, Thomas E. Thorpe in 7, and Kieran Lowe is in lane number 8 to complete the field. And they are going for it, hell and leather. They're doing their very best to keep up with these two in the lead, which is Jack Boniface and Max Jelves. But these two are looking very comfortable and very powerful right now.
They are, yes, and I'm constantly amazed by the amount of effort that goes into the kick these days. When I was coaching, you tended to just move your legs every so often for balance and rely on your arms pulling. But now they're kicking constantly, and these two seem to be kicking particularly hard. That's an indication they've got plenty of stamina.
Well, that's what's needed in this 1500 metre freestyle for boys between the ages of 11 and 4. This is the 3rd heat, and we'll have 5 heats in total, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. All day and all week here at the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013. We'll be streaming live every single day, so this is day 1 out of 7, so make sure you do join us every single day and let us know if you're watching as well, so we can send you messages of support to the competitors here in Swansea. If you need to do that and want to do that, which we'd love you to do, hashtag BGSN Live is the hashtag, so if you write a tweet with that hashtag in it, the message will get to the appropriate place, which is what we want. Now then, 13 minutes into this race 43, these boys are all seeded times under 20 minutes, that is pretty much a great feat in itself, isn't it, Norma?
It is, yes. I think they've got about 4 or 5 minutes to take off if they're going to compete with the best in the world, but they're well on the way. And this many to be under 20, that's pretty good.
It's interesting to note in this race because we've got a few boys who are only 12 years old competing against 14-year-olds. James Cross is only 12, Ryan Retson 12. Also Max Jelves, which is in lane 5, is doing very well at the moment, is 12 years of age. And Thomas E. Thorpe is also 12, competing against boys who are 13 and 14. Yes. So that's quite a big age gap, isn't it? Especially when maturity comes into it.
It is, but then as with everything, some people develop at different rates. So if you are one of these people who takes a long time to grow, possibly your stamina does the same thing, and you can see things change around once they get to 14.
So the scoreboard says that Scott Birtles is taking the lead now in lane number 3.
I think there's possibly been a double touch on a pad or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Or there's a problem, because it's quite clearly Jack Boniface ahead of Richard Mawson.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can happen, that somebody accidentally double touches, and so we get a false readout.
Yeah, so if anybody has seen the scoreboard and thinking that's wrong, you're talking rubbish on mic, we can clarify that it is Jack Boniface who's in the lead in lane number 4, and second place is Max Jelves, who's only 12 years old, in lane number 5.
You can tell by the times. It's getting very confusing though. I think that's 1 and 2, Jack Boniface and then Richard Mawson. Okay. And look, Richard Mawson's coming back. He's not going to wait for the last 100 or 200. He's coming back.
He's going to make his move now, Richard Mawson, in lane number 6.
Another lead swimmer, you see. This could well be down to confidence in their own ability and having been trained. You know, save your energy, just come when you need to.
So we're looking at lane number 4, which is Jack Boniface, and 6, Richard Mawson. They're the two that are really pushing the pace now. They've pushed on the others, they've pushed ahead, and they've really made a move on everybody else. It was a tight field to start, but now they've really made that move. They've pushed away, and those are the two that are clear in the front. And Richard Mawson is really stepping it up. Over the last 50, he's gone for it, hasn't he?
He has, yes. Yeah. we may well be on for a sprint finish, which
Excellent.
in my day was almost unheard of in 1500 metres. Yeah, this could be really good.
So the best times they'll be open to beat Jack Boniface 19 minutes and 18 seconds 01, and Mawson we're hoping to beat at a 19.2308. That'll be a clear aim they've had from the start of this race, but also winning would be an exceptional feat for them today. It kind of puts the cream on the cake, if you like, and this is going to be quite an interesting finish. And rivalry-wise between the clubs, how much rivalry exists?
Oh, well, there's a great deal of rivalry when they're swimming against each other in a local competition, for example. You want your club to be the best. But here we are, they're hearing the bell now. Now, let's keep an eye on Richard Mawson, see if he has got enough left to sprint past. Okay. There's a great deal of rivalry between clubs. But when they become, they're a North Wales team, for example, then you're teammates. So there's rivalry, but there's friendship too.
Okay, so would you say it's about 100 metres left in this race, less than that? And it's
Yeah.
all between Jack Boniface in lane 4 and in lane 6, Richard Mawson. Mawson has been in second place throughout the race. Perhaps he was in third place at one stage, but Boniface has been in the lead. But Mawson is making that move now and will really test the strength and stamina of Jack Boniface.
And they've swapped places now. As they turn then, Richard Mawson gone into the lead from Jack Boniface.
Okay, here we go. The sprint finish, the Norma says, never used to exist, but now it does, and it's live here from the National Swimming Pool in Swansea. It's going to be an extremely close finish, stroke by stroke. There's not much in this, is there, Norma?
No, there's not at all. It's one of these that I never like to call. It looks to me as though Richard is ahead.
Yeah, Mawson is pulling away in the final few strokes of this race. An absolutely fantastic effort, and he'll be delighted. Richard Mawson in lane 6. What a superb comeback there. And Jack Boniface in lane 4 in second place. They should both be delighted with that.
They should, yeah. So over a minute off his time. I think he looks delighted. It's a bit difficult to tell.
Yeah, he looks pretty tired.
He does.
But that's a good sign, isn't it?
That's a good sign. That's how he should look at the end of a final. So he's given his best.
And you said there they've knocked nearly a minute off their personal best times, which is absolutely fantastic. As the last two come in now to complete this race. What a superb finish to that race that was. And that shows, you can watch slowly in the 1500 metres. It looks like it's all over, but never leave the TV set because it can all change.
It can, yes. Yeah.
So we'll give you the official results there. There's been a few soft touches during that race. The scoreboard isn't entirely correct, so if we do cut to that and you see this on the live stream, it is not going to be 100% correct. Hopefully they'll sort that out for the official results, but we can definitely clarify that that Richard Mawson came in first place and Jack Boniface came in second, and both of them knocking over a minute off their personal best times.
The techies are very good, so they'll sort it out as soon as they can now. We have backup time as well as the pads, so it's not just reliant on the pads.
So that was heat number 3 of the 1500 metre freestyle for boys between 11 and 14. And heat 4 is about to begin. We'll respect the start now and let the boys get to it. There's a bit of a delay. Slowly they get into place. So there you go, clarification of the result of heat 3. Richard Mawson in first, Jack Boniface second, and Ryan Retson in third. James Cross fourth, Scott Birtles fifth, Max Jelf sixth, Thomas Thorpe in 7th position, and Ki Ren Lau in 8th position. A massive congratulations to them all for that fantastic race and a great ending. So here we go, another race. This is heat number 4 of 5 for the boys between 11 and 14 years of age, and it's the 1500 metre freestyle. So the dive is obviously very important in a 50 metre freestyle, but not so much in this race, or is it?
Well, it depends what you want to achieve. If you want to feel that you've done everything as best you can, then it is important. But to get in the water legally is the number one aim. So get in legally, and if you can get an advantage on your neighbour by a particularly good dive, that's never a bad thing. Yep. It sends a message to your neighbour. It's like the start in the 100 metres sprint. If you get a good start, it can demoralise the others
Yeah,
around
instant
you.
hit, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about positioning yourself. So let's find out who's in what position lane-wise in this race. We've got Jamie R. Aldred in lane 1. We've got Scott Lindburn in 2. Oliver Jones in 3. Morgan Sutton in 4. Andrew Flanagan in 5. Callum Mitchell in 6. Joshua Looney, or Looney even, sorry, in 7. And Sam Crabtree in lane 8. And 2 local boys in this race from Swansea. This is their swimming pool. It's their patch. Oliver Jones in 3 and Joshua Looney in 7. And Joshua there is the only 12-year-old in this race. Everyone else is either 13 or 14. And everyone in this race has swam sub 20 minutes, before this race. 20 seconds, that would be impressive.
That would be
it?
very impressive, yes. I think yes, I think I know a lot of people who'd like that time. I think the local boys should know what is involved in this pool, because they'll train in it quite regularly. So they should know how many arm strokes to a length, for example, and they won't want to do their fastest all the time, but they'll know what they can do, hopefully.
Because you did touch on it earlier, Norma, saying a lot of people train in smaller pools. So the stride pattern of a hurdler, for example, you go 3 strides and you're over the hurdle, and it's the same with the swimming pool, isn't it? That you know how many strokes you're going to take to get to the end. So it could throw you completely coming into a bigger pool.
Yes, it could. Yes. I remember my daughter, the very first time she swam in a 50-metre pool, swam the first 50 metres in a time I couldn't believe, but then absolutely died on the next 50 because she was timing it as if it was a 25-metre pool. But they learn that quickly. She didn't make that mistake again.
Yeah, well, that's the message, isn't it? As long as you learn from your mistakes in sport and then train harder to make sure you don't do it again, then all is good, as they say. Right, let's talk a little bit. You're president of Swim Wales, Norma.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about the state of swimming in Wales at the moment. It's in a very healthy place. Many competitors taking part in the British Championships and also in the World Aquatics in Barcelona.
Yes.
But there has been talk of merging swimming clubs throughout Wales, and Swansea is one of the areas that have merged recently. Is that controversial? But perhaps it is. But in the long distance, is it a very good thing?
I think if you want the best for your swimmers, as a coach, you've got to be prepared to say, that's as far as I can get you. You need to move on now. If you are a parent, I want my swimmer to do the best they can, but you can't just force them into a situation that they're not ready for. So it can be controversial, mainly because people don't understand what's involved. We want the best for the swimmers. So if by merging we can make a squad that will go faster than the others. In fact, you need swimming for every level. So if you just want to be a social swimmer, you need access to a pool where you can swim at your pace. If you want to be a competition swimmer, you need access to coaching which will take you through competitions. We need everything, so we've all got to learn to live with one another. Yeah, indeed.
But to be the very best and to be on a competitive level to create Olympic athletes, you've got to train with the best in the area and then progress from there, surely.
That's right. It's like I said before, if you are the best in your club, you could be a big fish in a little pool. That big fish comes out in to swim against all the other clubs in the area, and suddenly you're not so good as you thought you were. So yes, they do need to go out and swim against the best in all the clubs around them, and then in their own country, and then hopefully internationally as well.
Brilliant stuff. If you've got any opinions or views on the topics which we're discussing here, please get involved on Twitter. It's #BGSNLive. Any thoughts you have, please drop us a tweet with that hashtag. Also, if you want to say good luck to anybody, please do get involved in Twitter, and we'll retweet and read them all out in due course time. Right then, you're listening to Geraint Hardy and Norma Rolls, the president of Swim Wales, and you can watch us streaming live on Quipu TV's live coverage, so go over to the YouTube address and I'm sure you're all there, but spread the word. It's important that you do that. And also, if you want any results that you've missed already, go over to swimwales.org. All the results and also the schedules for what's coming up today will be online, so you can make sure you're here at the right time to see the right person. Right then, back to this race, a quarter of the way through, and once again, Morgan Scott in lane 4. Lane 4 excelling themselves today, aren't they? Because they're the seeded, they're the favourites.
Yes, and in in events like this, we have what we call cyclical seeding as well. So you won't get the top 6 swimmers swimming in one heat. They'll be separated into other heats, and so that gives everybody a better chance as well. So you can swim. You really have to swim your very best race without really knowing what the others can do.
So Morgan Sutton he's from Bridgend, which is not too far from here, from Swansea.
No.
So where will he be doing his training? Because he's a member of the Bridgend club. Will he be in Bridgend training all the time, or will he go to Cardiff? Will he come to Swansea here?
He'll probably, I don't know too much about the league situation down here, but if there are leagues that go around the different pools, he probably swims in those, and any competitions that they put on, he will take part in those. I suspect he does most of his training for Bridgend because he's swimming for Bridgend. But you'll see that the Pembrokeshire swimmers, they swim for County of Pembrokeshire, but they are from different clubs, as you can see on the banner behind me.
Yeah.
And they very often in a competition, they will be swimming for Pembrokeshire, Tenby.
Right. Okay.
So their club is named, but they're swimming for the area as well.
Good stuff. Now, if you're not aware, there's swimming clubs from throughout the UK taking part today, from Scotland, from England and from Wales. So we've got the very best in this age category really going for it today and really giving their very best, and it's great to see so many people turn out for this event. The queues this morning on the way in at 8 o'clock when I turned up were massive. And I've got to admit, I was shell-shocked at the length of the queue, and it's great to see so many people showing such support.
Yes, it is. I've never seen anything like that before. It was absolutely stunned me, and I've been coming down here for years and years. So yeah, absolutely fabulous to see that, and wonderful that so many people want to swim and that so many people want to support them. Really, really fantastic. Good news for the support for the sport.
Indeed. And the future then from this event, things like this can only continue to happen, can't they? Because obviously the competitiveness is there, the support is there from the fans, so it can only grow and grow.
Absolutely. I mean, you might go one or two who say, oh, well, this really isn't for me. But I think the majority of them will say, right, I didn't quite get what I wanted there. Right, I'm going out to do this. Hopefully this will spur people on to do much, much more.
Yep, we're going to be streaming live for the next 7 days from the National Pool here in Swansea, and you can keep up to date with all the results at swimwales.org, or catch up with today's action so far and later on this evening if you're going to pop out in a bit. youtube.com Quipu TV is the address, and also on Twitter #BGSN Live if you want to send any tweets regarding the action that's happening today down in Swansea. Now we'll turn our events back to heat number 4 of the 1500 metre freestyle. To remind you who's who, in lane 1 we've got Jamie R. Aldred, in 2 Scott Lilburn, in 3 Oliver Jones, in 4 Morgan Sutton, in 5 Andrew Flanagan, Callum Mitchell is in lane 6, Joshua Looney is in 7, and Sam Crabtree completes the field in lane 8. And right about now, Morgan Sutton from Bridgend is leading the way in lane 4.
His previous 100 was 1:13, so I'm just watching now to see if he's doing the same. But he's about 25 metres ahead of his closest rival. I'd be surprised if that turned around, but, well, at the same time I wouldn't be, because at this age you never know what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's very competitive for second place at the moment.
Yes,
You've got lane 2, also lane 5 and 6. So in lane 2, Scott Lilburn, Andrew Flanagan in 5, and Callum Mitchell in 6. They're really kind of battling it out. They're going back and forth, changing positions every now and again. So it's up to one of them three to make the big move on Morgan Sutton, because if they're going to need to make it, they can wait another 5 minutes or so, but after then they're going to really have to go, because Morgan Sutton is slowly extending his lead bit by bit.
Yeah, this is when you're watching Wales swim, this is what you want them to do: go out, get in the lead, and gradually get further and further away. If you're watching as a parent, you want your child to fight back and cut that lead. But he's sticking there. He's 25 metres ahead, and he's lapping on 1:12, 1:13. So he's swimming a very steady race at the moment.
But there's a sacrifice, isn't it, to be made? If you're in second place and you think, right, I'm going to go for him now, you could go too early and end up in 4th place and help the others get second and third.
This is where communication and learning helps. They've got to know how much they need to save. Otherwise, they'll blow the whole race. They might not even come second. They might come last then, and they don't want that.
No,
so
definitely not.
you've got to put an old head on young shoulders, and I think people should be aware of just how much these children do, because they do really know an awful lot, and they are very good competitors. We should give them credit for what they've learned.
Yeah, here, I can only agree with that, Norma. So Morgan Sutton from Bridgend, 14 years old, is in the lead right about now. And the rest of the field are doing their very best to kind of catch up with him. 3 in particular in lane 2, Scott Lilburn's trying his best. Lane 6, Callum Mitchell as well, and Joshua Looney in lane 7, a local boy from Swansea, is trying to crawl it back. But Morgan Sutton is looking very comfortable, and he looks quite comfortable and quite strong at the moment, Norma. He doesn't seem to be phased or tired at all.
No, he looks strong, as you say, but the others don't look stressed. They're swimming regularly. They seem to be swimming in a pattern. It suggests that they know what they're doing and that they're managing to keep their own race under control. Of course, they would want to cut down his lead if they could and get a better time. But I expect most of them will finish with a better time anyway. And you can only, at the end of the day, that's the best you can do.
Training-wise this week, these guys wouldn't have swam 1,500 metres, would they, or would they have?
Well, I'm not up to date with current training methods. I doubt it. They'll have tapered down last week if the coach felt that this was important event enough. But they will stretch. They'll get in the pool here and do a long stretching warm-up so that their body is ready to take this on. But sometimes you've got to watch that you do your warm-up and 3 hours later you've got to swim, and it's 3 hours since you did your warm-up, so sometimes they get a little extra one. Yeah. And here we're fortunate we've got the training pool that they can use for swim up and swim down as well.
Yeah, we can see already the swimmers for the next heat kind of doing the last minute stretches and so forth. But we'll go back to the race here. Still about, I'd say, about 6 minutes to go in this race. All of these competitors in heat number 4 have all bar 3 of them clocked under 19 minutes, which is really impressive, isn't it?
It is, yes. It's fantastic. I'm constantly amazed by how well these youngsters can swim, because as I say, when I started out, you just didn't see this.
What is impressive as well is that they treat it as if they're professionals. They're serious about what they do. That it's not about playing around and going for a swim, because it is a lot of dedication to get up first thing, go to school, come back, and you've got to eat properly. It's a full-time job, this.
It is. And they've got to be sure to eat properly. I don't know if you heard Becky Adlington this week. She retired, as you know, and she just carried on eating the way she had done while she was training. And she's just piled the pounds on, and she's desperately trying to get rid of them now. So, and the same happened to my daughter too. You eat for the race you swim, and they use a lot of energy, so they eat a lot of high carbs. If you carry on doing that when you stop swimming, that's it. So you go to masters swimming.
That's the next stage. Brilliant stuff. Like the footballers do, there's a masters of swimming.
And you want to see some of the masters swim as well. I mean, it might take them half an hour to swim this race, but when you're 84, 96 and you're doing that, it's absolutely... It's a job for life, this.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And it's great to see that people not only begin to swim at a young age, but they continue it to the age of 80, like you just said.
That's right. And to see the masters swimmers with the younger ones as well and encouraging them, it's really very heartening.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Okay, back to this race we go. This is heat of 4 of 5 in the 1,500 metres for boys between 11 and 14. If you're watching, let us know where you're watching from Scotland, England or Wales with the hashtag BG... Where's that hashtag gone? Sorry, I do apologise. BGSN Live. Let us know your thoughts and we'll give you a shout out ASAP. But Morgan Sutton from Bridgend is leading the way in this race. He's in lane number 4 and he's still quite a bit way ahead. Lane number 2, the local boy is trying to catch up, and that is... Oh, no, sorry, that's from first swim in, which is Scott Lilburns. Lane number 3, Swim Swansea, Oliver Jones is also doing his best. But he's pretty comfortable now, and they're going to really have to make their move and go after Morgan Sutton if they're going to catch him.
Yeah, if they want to catch him, if they want to win this race, then they've really got to go out hard. Just looking at them, as I say, they don't look as though they're stressing in any way. They're keeping a regular pace, perhaps they know exactly what they're doing and this is their race plan, and to suddenly decide to sprint after him would wreck that and wreck their chances of a personal best time.
Now Morgan Sutton there just hit the wall and did his turn, and he looked very, very fierce coming out of the water there. He's obviously looking very fresh. Right now, he'll know roughly how well he's doing. He knows he's ahead of the field. Is it a matter of pushing as far as he can now to get that PB? Is that what his aim will be now? Because he's already won this race.
Yeah, he's got to hang on. He's got to make sure he can finish. So he mustn't go too fast, too soon. He needs to carry on with the pace he's been swimming at and keep going that way until he hears he's on the last 100 and sprint as hard as he can and hopefully smash his PB.
Now, Morgan is from Bridgend, as I've said, so not far from here. It'll be a great place for him to win. I'm sure his friends and family are down supporting him today.
Oh, I'm sure they are, yes.
We've mentioned it earlier, but it is great to see so many people here today supporting, and especially this morning, it was a great atmosphere in here for the shorter races, electric atmosphere, and that's what you get from a swimming event, isn't it?
It is. It's a great family affair, because you know, if you're going to support one child, you've got to bring the others with you if they're not swimming as well. So the whole family come along and take part, and it's really good. I like to think of us as a family.
Yeah,
we get
swimming
to know
family
each other.
across the UK. Brilliant stuff. Now, we just heard the bell there, which would indicate that there's 100 metres or less now for Morgan Sutton. So it's time for him to up the ante, try and smash that personal best. He's had a fantastic swim so far. He's been commanding, clear and very controlled from the very start. And it's a really great accolade to him, his coach and his family that he's in such control during a race of this length. So here we go, looking at lane number 4. He's on his way home.
And he's kicking like mad. I mean, look at the water. It's really working hard there down this final, 12 and 25 metres now.
He's leaving nothing in the tank, which is absolutely fantastic to see. It's that personal push that all athletes have got to really push till the very end. And Morgan Sutton is going for it now, right till the final stroke. And there he is. He should be absolutely delighted with that.
And that's over a minute again off his time, so it's brilliant swimming.
Fantastic. He's looking at his time now. He'll be aware that the scoreboard says he's second, but that is not true. Don't worry, Morgan. You were in first place. There's a few stop touches on the boards, and so have you. First place. Delighted with that swim. And he's got nothing left to thank. He looks very tired there now, but it shows you that he's given it his very best.
It does. And we should see him recover very quickly as well. If they've trained for the race, they should be able to recover quite quickly. But it's good that he's out of breath, that he's really worked there. It shows he put everything into it.
Now this morning we saw a few competitors in many different events. Is this the same for the guys and the girls who will be doing 1500? Will they be taking part in other races as well?
Very probably. They shouldn't really specialise until they're mid-teens. Some of these might be thinking now of specialising, but we should see them in all sorts of different events. And we need them to sprint at the end, so to be good at 100 metres is useful.
Yeah, very useful. Okay, the official result is on the board now. Morgan Sutton in first place, a time of 17.5942. He'll be delighted with that under 18 minutes. Scott Lilburn in second, and Andrew Flanagan in third place. Congratulations to you. Andrew Flanagan is his name, sorry. It says Andre on the board. I thought he was a foreigner all of a sudden. But Andrew Flanagan in third place. Congratulations. Good stuff. Right, on to the final heat. Again from First Swimming Club, we've got Alice Lawson. Dumfries is George Johnston. From Swim Swansea, the local boy in his own swimming pool, Cameron Crott. And lane 6, Birmingham, we've got Daniel Moore in lane 7. And from Otter Swim Club, Angus Grunomet. I hope I said his name right, so it looks a bit French to me, in lane 8. So off they go, they've already gone. And at the start of this race, we've got lane 6, Cameron Crook, the Swansea boy. He's trying to push the pace, Norma.
He is. Cameron I've seen swim over the years, and he's grown up here, if you like. And he's always been good. He's always stood out. It's he's put his cards out, and basically it's for the others to come and take them away.
Yeah, well, he did say earlier what you like to see the Welsh boys and girls do is go out in the lead and
That's
slowly
right.
stretch it, and he's doing exactly what you said.
Yes.
Are you his coach?
No. No, but to say, it's great being the president. You can be very, very proud of them, and know you've had nothing to do with their training, but it does make you proud.
So you should. Norma Rolls, if you're just joining us now, is the president of Swim Wales. So she's very happy to see this event here in Swansea today, and for all Welsh swimmers to do their very best today. She's like a proud mother to them all.
I hope I don't have that many children.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you don't. Okay, so the 1500 metres. If you're just joining us, you've missed the first 5 heats of this. This is the final, the first 4 you've missed, sorry. And in the last race we saw Morgan Sutton from Bridgend absolutely blow the field away and win that last race. So congratulations to him in the last heat. In this heat, once again, I'll run through the lanes for you so you know who's who. Gareth Haberfield is in 1, Morgan Pemberton in 2, David Fryer-Winder in 3, Ellis Lawson in 4, George Johnston in 5, Cameron Croot is in 6, Daniel Moore in 7, and Angus Guranonet in 8 from Otters Swim Club. Now we've discussed the training, we've discussed the strategy in a race, but this is kind of, the strategy is a very interesting point, because you're saying about controlling, this discipline in training, and it's elements of this they can take on to real life, isn't there?
Yes, oh absolutely, yes. And if you come to apply for a job as a swimmer, they'll know that you can stick with it, that you can stay with something, so that you won't abandon a project in the middle. You can work alone, but equally you can work as a team. There's lots of attributes that swimmers gain from their training, which should recommend them to future employers. Mind you, the top ones, of course, won't need that. They'll be up here commentating instead of me.
Now then, President of Swim Wales, as we mentioned earlier, and you want to boost your memberships and stuff like this. And events like this can only help get people intrigued in the first place in swimming, and then think, you know what, I'm going to join a club. Why not? Because you've got nothing to lose, have you?
No, absolutely nothing at all. And the fact that this is going out live is even better, because we don't often see Welsh swimming on television. For it to go out live, and for grannies and granddads who can't travel to be able to see their grandson, for friends to be able to see it. You too could achieve this. Don't forget there's a lot of dedication and hard work involved. But yeah, here you are, look, this is our top pool and we can do it too.
And if someone is watching and their youngest is interested, your message would be quite simply get involved with your local leisure centre. They should guide you all the way then.
They should indeed. If your children are quite young, get them into the Learn to Swim programme. We're trying to bring in Aqua Passport throughout Wales. And that sets them on the road. When they get to a certain level, they will then be introduced to a club, and the club will take them from there. If they're older than that, take them along to the club or contact the club and find out what they can offer. And they're the best ones, best placed to tell you what they can do. And as I've said, you don't need to stop, because you can go on and swim into masters as well.
And it's not just all about swimming, is it? I mean, leisure centres, it's about aquatics these days, so it's a broader scope than just swimming in a pool doing your lengths.
That's right. There's an awful lot of things you can do. I mean, a lot of these will do land training and weights and circuits and things like that. So it's an all-round health programme, keep you fit. Plus, there's also a lot of the social side as well. It's a good thing to belong to. Yeah. You have friends. And I think that girls and boys learn to mix in a healthy way. So it's good for everything.
Fantastic. Okay, we're quarter of the way through this final heat 5 out of 5 in the 1500 metre freestyle for boys aged 11 to 14. And we're coming up to the splits here against the wall, so we'll tell you who's who. It looks like the Swansea lad, Cameron Croot, is leading the way. Croot is leading the way. Split there 5:33. And now he's led from the front, and
Yes.
he's kind of leading from example. It's a brave move to do that, isn't it? Just to put yourself out there so far in
It
front
is.
from the off.
It is. It's very brave, but it shows he has confidence in himself as well. He knows what he can do. His coach will have told him and reminded him, and he's going out there and doing it.
So right now the battle for second place is in lane 4 and 5. So we're looking at Ellis Lawson and George
3 and 4,
Johnston.
no, 4 and 5.
Yeah,
you're
4
right,
and 5.
sorry.
So Ellis Lawson in 4 and George Johnston in 5. Both travelled a long way to be here today, so they'll be hoping to get at least PBs out of this today and maybe catch up with the leader currently. But let's go back to your swimming story. Maybe people are joining us late because I love it, so I want to talk about it again. You're not necessarily a swimmer, basically, Norma, are you?
No, I'm not. I got involved because my daughter was a good swimmer and I couldn't bear to watch her, so I got involved officiating and then teaching and coaching. No, I'm scared of water, terrified of water, and I've not been able to get in for the last 6 months because I've had a hip problem. So I'm just wondering if when I try and get in again I'll feel the old feelings of, oh dear me. But I did it last year. I got in and I did my 2,200 metres, I think it was, I did.
Amazing.
Altogether.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Not all at once.
No, but slowly, that's all it's all about, isn't it? Right then, the training is exhausting, isn't it? I mean, it's hard work.
It is.
So
yes.
this is kind of results day, it's the business end. It's also fun though, isn't it? I mean, it's not
Yes.
all about results, it's about fun factor, getting the family out and kind
Yeah.
of just being proud of what you're doing, being involved in a social circle.
Yeah, here when we have a Welsh closed meet, and you find that you've got a whole squad from an area, and they entertain us. So as we're playing the music for the warm up and the start, they'll be doing little dances and they'll sing, and it's a real family affair. It's real good fun. We all try to join in with one another, officials, parents, spectators, the swimmers and the coaches.
Yep. If you're a part of this swimming family but can't be here today because of the distance, basically, because we're down in southwest Wales in Swansea in the national pool, then remember, anything you've missed you can watch on youtube.com/Quipu TV. So please do get involved in that later on today. And also all the results and the schedule that's going to be coming over the next 6 days is swimwales.org. So check it out and also get involved on Twitter. We'll be tweeting all throughout the day, and we want your opinions on the results, shout outs to people, or any questions you want to ask us about what's going on down here in Swansea. The hashtag we're going to be using, so just send a tweet with the hashtag BGSNLive. That's hashtag BGSNLive, and if we see them, we'll retweet them, we'll favourite them, and we'll also read them out. And at Swim Wales is also another address we'd like you to tweet today, at Swim Wales. It's a great event today, and the competitiveness is fantastic, and that's what I've loved so far, is that every race has gone to the end. No one's given up, gone, oh, you've won. And this morning was a great example of this, and even in the 1500 we've seen races go right down to the wire.
That's what they're being trained for, to give their absolute all and not to give up. If you start giving up when you're 12, 13, 14, you're not going to get anywhere. So that's what they're trained for, and that's what they're doing. It's all credit to the coaches and the teachers who've got them there, and to the swimmers themselves for actually coming out and doing as they've been told to do.
Okay, as we look at the race now, there's 9 minutes 35 seconds on the clock. So we're nearing halfway through this race, and it is hard to see who's in charge because they keep lapping each other, which is the difficult thing with the 1500. But right about now, it's all between lane 5 and 6, I think, from what I can see. And coming back here for lane 6 now is the local Swansea boy, Cameron Croot, and he is coming for his touching the wall. His qualifying time here was 18 minutes 13.89, which is extremely fast. But to be fair, the favourite for this race was Ellis Lawson from First Swimming Club. His swimming time, seeded time, personal best, whatever you want to call it, 17.52.76, which is extremely fast. So this race is definitely not over with Ellis Lawson involved.
No, it's not. We don't know what Ellis's plan is. He may be having a bad day. We just don't know. We just have to hang on in there and watch what happens. But at the moment, Cameron is doing really well, and he'll know this pool fairly well too.
So Cameron Croot, he'll have family and friends here today, won't he?
I'm sure he will.
It would be lovely for him to win today.
Yes, it would. Yeah.
And also, when you go to a massive event like this, what's the element of prestige you get from winning them? And every members of the club, they must embrace it and be so happy for you when you win.
Oh yes, I mean the clubs go back and they put the successes up on their notice boards. Say in North Wales, we've got Swim Wales North page on Facebook, and we try to share it out there as well. So it's not going just to the club, it's going to the whole area that they come from. They're trying to embrace modern technology and get that involved as well. Yeah,
brilliant stuff. Talking of modern technology, I just mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. Hashtag BGSN Live if you want to tweet about us, and we'll get your hashtags circulating, and hopefully it'll get trending by the end of the day, because this is a great event in the Wales National Pool here in Swansea. It's the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013, and we've got competitors from all over the UK taking part today, from as far as the north of Scotland, England, all the way down to Wales, and everyone is getting involved. Almost 1,700 swimmers will be travelling to Swansea over the course of the next 7 days. This is day one, so the next 6 days is going to be absolutely fantastic. And it's great to think that an event like this can last over 7 days, because normally you think, oh, it's a weekend of swimming, but 7 days of swimming at this level, it's absolutely mind-boggling. It's fantastic.
Yes, it is, and it's grown. I've watched this event grow from 4 days up to the current 7. So it's got bigger and bigger, and it's really an amazing achievement to the people who've organised it, that they've been able to organise it and get this many people in. And we constantly looking at what we've done and looking where we need to improve, because we want to encourage people to come back again and again. So I know that the organisers will be doing that, looking at what they can do to try and ease certain things and improve it even more.
Yeah, it's fantastic news that the sport is growing, and she aims to grow the sport within Swim Wales. How much has the Olympic legacy played a part in this? Because the Olympics were massive, and surely it's had an effect.
Yeah, I think it has. People around me who I talk about it all the time, and I tell them who to watch and who to look out for, and try and keep it in their minds. So by talking to people, you're getting them interested and showing them what's happening. And I've watched little ones up in the north who've just plodded up and down and learned how to swim, and are suddenly so impressed by the fact that I spoke to Ellie Simmons, for example, and things like that. They want to come as well. They want to come and meet people themselves. They want to get involved. I know one little girl who couldn't wait to be 9 years old so she could start competing. So, and I think the Olympics has had a big effect. But I think also we need to keep saying to other people, look, these are our best people. Look what they're doing now, so that they're aware of who the top people are and what to aim for.
Yeah, because support is a massive element of it, isn't it? Because without support, it's very difficult to achieve what you need to achieve.
Yes, absolutely. And it has to be a whole family thing. The family need to support the swimmer, get them to training, and get them and to be consistent as well. And it's very easy for kids to give up halfway through and say, oh, I've had enough of that, I don't want to do that anymore. They've got to stick with it, and if they're going to be good. But they need encouragement as well. They need to be told, look, you're doing really well. Keep in there.
Okay, as we turn our attention back to this 1500 metre freestyle for boys between 11 and 14. We've literally got about 5 minutes max of this race left to go. All these boys are hoping to get under 19 minutes today in this race. And this is the final heat of 5, and right now things are getting a little bit interesting, Norma, aren't they? Because Cameron Croot went off very, very fast in lane 6, but is he still commanding this race?
Yes, I think he's lapping some of the others. So it's difficult because we've got soft touches and double touches, so we can't really work out where they are.
Yeah, but Cameron Croot is definitely in the lead, isn't he?
He's definitely in the lead, yes.
So
just watch them on this turn now.
There's his time.
He's 15:25. He's definitely the fastest.
Yeah, he's doing very well for himself. But his tactic was very interesting, because he decided, and literally from the first dive in the first 25 metres, he was ahead and he went for it.
That's right. He's not as far ahead as he was if Angus there in lane 8 is in second place. But look, he's pulled away fractionally again. So and he's hearing the bell. So we should see him sprint now.
So this is 100 metres to go. He knows that he's very, very close to winning this race and completing what has basically been a perfect race for him.
Yes, he set his plan out from the word go, got into the lead, and he stayed there. And Angus is working really hard in lane 8, but I don't think he can. I don't think he can catch Cameron now.
Cameron needs to keep going because Angus is slowly closing down on him. This turn could be crucial. He's making the turn now. His best time so far this year, his personal PB, is 18:13.89. He's well on course to beat that right now.
Ahead of that.
So it's been a great swim regardless.
And he's 12.5 metres ahead of Angus as well.
And his supporters are really getting behind him now. They're trying to encourage him as much as they can. The crowd are getting involved. But Cameron Croot, the local boy from Swansea, looks like he's got this one in the bag. Angus in lane 8 is just slightly fading now. He maybe knows he's out of his reach. And that's a fantastic swim from Cameron, isn't it?
Beautiful. Well, it's well done. 17:08.79 for a fantastic time.
That's over a minute ahead of his personal PB, which was 18:13 before. In second place.
Oh, you see, he had lapped Angus.
Yeah, he'd lapped him, so
he
there
had
we go.
Lapped
he was
him,
comfortably
so he was
ahead.
comfortably ahead of the rest of the field.
And the others now are slowly coming into place and slowly finishing. There you go. Ellis Lawson in lane number 4. It came in second place. 17:52 was the time he beat, so that's 20 seconds again off his personal best.
Yes.
It's showing you how competitive they are just within themselves, which is excellent.
And at this age, as I say, they can take great chunks off their time, as we saw Cameron do. And I can't believe how old he looks. I remember him when he was 10.
Yeah, well, he's just raised his hand to say number 1 there, so he's obviously very happy with that. And he deserves to be very happy, and I'm sure everyone involved here in Swim Swansea is very proud of him taking a victory on home soil.
And they're very hard on themselves when they don't get what they want. So it's... I think the public need to know that when an athlete gets annoyed at the end of the race, it's not temper or jealousy, it's annoyance with themselves because they haven't achieved what they set out to achieve. Yeah,
personal drive is a big thing, and you need to, that keeps you going, keeps you on edge, and keeps you and makes you the athlete and the competitor that you are.
Yes, that's right.
And it's great to see that installed in people at a young age in a way, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, we'll get the final results up on screen for you any second now, but we can confirm that Cameron Croot from Swansea was in first place. Ellis Lawson was in second place, and Ellis is from First Swimming Club, so congratulations to him. Both of them absolutely smashing their personal best time. And there you go, we can clarify third place. That was George Johnson from Dumfries. So he's travelled a long way today in third place, 17:40.92 his time, which also is a personal best. It's excellent to see this personal best today, and they've been happening nearly in every single race, which is once again outstanding.
It is, and that's at this age, that's what we're looking for, that they will improve each time they go out.
Right then, up next, the girls will be coming soon in the 1500 metre freestyle.
I think you'll find it's the older boys.
Oh, it's the older boys, sorry, beg my pardon, yes it is the older boys. So in this we only have 3 competing in the first heat. We've got Matthew Lowe from Leeds, from Sevenoaks in lane 4, we've got Callum Brophy, and from Swim Swansea in lane 5 we've got Lewis Quirk. So these are the boys from 15 to 18 years old, 15 metre freestyle. Now, with 8 in a race, obviously they can bunch up, they can huddle up, 2 can take the lead, a few can be behind or in the middle or what have you. But with 3, this is an interesting mix, isn't it? Because literally, there could be 3 groups on your own.
Yes, they can see each other much more easily because they're close together. So it's the same with every race, though. It doesn't matter if there's 8 or 3 there. Swim your own race and go for it. So they're very close together on that turn. I'd be surprised if they stayed there all the time.
Yeah.
But I've said already, at the same time, I won't be surprised because they do these things all the time.
But as you said there, the point to pick up on really is to know your own race and to race your own race, because
Yes.
you're the one in control of your body, and it's all about that strategy and controlling what you're doing, isn't it?
Yes. And listening to what you've been told, what you've been advised, and what you know you can do. So at the moment, Callum looks as though he's just slightly ahead of the others. He may have planned with his coach to do that, to go out and just be slightly ahead of them, to say, you know, I'm here, I'm in the lead. And at the same time have enough to take him right through to the end and win. It'll be interesting to see. They're sticking together much closer than some of the other heats. They may well stay like this almost to the end.
Now this is a category for boys of 15 to 18, so the older class. These three happen to all be 15.
Yes.
So in that year, in that category change, is there more control of the strategy of the race? Is there more awareness of what the body's doing? Or does that come a little bit later on again? Because some swimmers in Olympics, they're very, very young, aren't they?
Yeah, I would hope so. I would hope they are more aware of what they're doing. But then I used to be a teacher, and I know at 15 they go through all sorts of changes and they don't necessarily have their minds on what they're doing. I think if you got to this level in sport, hopefully you would have. But they're lane 3 now. Matthew Lowe is moving ahead now.
I mean, the awful thing in this race now with 3 involved is that you could be left way behind. But yet again, the positive on that is to keep your own race and head for that PB again, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, and it is hard when you're behind the entire field, whether it's 3, 2 people in front of you or 7, is to keep going and do your own race. And again, it's a learning, it's communication and learning, you know, this is the best I can do. So long as you're doing the best you can do, fine. But if you're last and you give up and you just glide in, that doesn't do anybody any good.
No, definitely doesn't. If you're joining us right now, we're at the National Pool in Swansea, and this is the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013. We're going to be streaming live for the next 7 days. This is day number 1, so 6 days of great competitive swimming taking part. We're going to be happening here in Swansea. There's almost 1,700 swimmers travelling to Swansea to take part in the next 7 days, which is absolutely fantastic. People from as far as the north of Scotland were making their way down all the way through Scotland to the north of England, to the south, to the west and east, and also the whole of Wales will be taking part here today and for the next 6 days. And the magnitude of this event was only clarified this morning and shown, and you could see quite clearly how big it was when there was a queue back to the Mumbles, if you like. It was massive.
Yes, I was astounded. I've never seen anything like that before, and it was hard to get through the door without having to queue, to be honest. There were so many people there. It's absolutely wonderful. Great to see so many people coming here and making the effort to be with them and to cheer them on.
And as the president of Swim Wales, Norma, that can only make you think that all your hard work is worthwhile, and it's actually having a massive impact on Wales.
Yes, yes. I remember I'm the figurehead. It's all the other people down there who do the hard work, all the coaches and the teachers. And they work very hard, and they give their time for absolutely nothing, most of them. And that's amazing. When you think about it, that to give that amount of time for nothing, just for the love of the sport. I think that's why swimming is such a happy sport, because it's money, when it's coming, hasn't got out of control yet, and I hope it doesn't. But I think it's quite right that if you're very good, you should be paid for what you do. But there's so much to be gained by having somebody who does it for love, and I think you can see that over and over again.
Yeah, you can only see that from the volunteers here today, so an absolutely fantastic effort. Now in this heat number 1 of the 1500 metre freestyle for boys between 15 and 18. 3 competitors in this first heat. We've got Matthew Lowe in lane 3 from Leeds, Callum Brophy from Seven Oaks in lane 4, and Lewis Quirk from Swim Swansea in lane 5. And Matthew Lowe has made his move, and he's opening that gap, quite a significant gap, and he's going for it, he's setting the pace, and it's up for the other 2 to try and catch him, to stay with him. Now with the other 2 now, obviously if there was a full field here, they'd be probably right in the mix. So we've clarified this about keeping your own race.
Yes.
Will these 2, will they be eager to chase him, or is it a matter of just concentrate on time, keep to what you know?
I think mostly it'll be keep to what you know. They really must not tire themselves out and lose the race and a good time by going too hard. I suspect that Matthew felt, oh gosh, this pace is too slow for me. We see it with middle distance runners. You know, this pace isn't right for me. I need to go faster. And he's gone. Hopefully these two know what their pace is and what their body can do. And they'll do just enough to keep on track, if possible, keep in touch. It looks as though Lewis now is coming away. Perhaps he's decided that being alongside Callum isn't fast enough for him and he needs to push a bit more.
Yeah, indeed. Matthew Lowe's seed time here is 19:56.61, and he'll be hoping to beat that. He's actually not the fastest of the seed times. That goes to Callum Brophy from Seven Oaks, 19.3954, and Lewis Quirk, whose best time is 19:51.42. So not a lot between these guys.
No, there's not. But as I said already, you can't know when they did that time. They've set that time at some point, and
is that time been set in competition though?
Probably it has been. And so, if you've not done a 1500 in competition for some while, you may well have developed more and be able to do a much faster time. You may not have developed. They're still children. I know they wouldn't thank me for saying that, but they are, and their body is still developing. And until it sorts itself out and it settles into a pattern, they won't develop as much as they can. You just have to look at the way children grow and see the parallels. They come on as their body allows them to. And it's at this stage, I think it's about the mental effort as much as anything else.
And you've been obviously involved in the sport for many years. How much of a factor is nerves, would you say? Because kids, to a certain extent, not that we want to call them children, but they are under the age of 18, they're fearless, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And sometimes that leads them to make mistakes. They'll go too fast, too soon. Excuse me. But it's nerves can play. Yeah, you'll see, especially in the younger competitions, you'll see children coming up and they're suddenly really terrified. They want to swim in a competition and suddenly they're frightened. Once they've done their first event, they're usually quite happy. So once they get their nerves under control, then you've got to be nervous. I've always said that. I teach singing, and if you're not nervous, you're not doing your best. But you don't want to be so nervous that your body is not in control. So you've got to get this happy medium. Yeah, nerves will. And every time you move up to a different level, you'll have this twinge again.
Yeah. Norma, you can turn your hand to anything. You're a swimming coach, you're the president of Swim Wales, and also a singing teacher. I won't ask you to sing. You're okay. You're in safe hands. But very impressed. Your CV is fantastic. I'm very jealous. Very jealous. Right. If you're listening to us, we are currently at the National Welsh Swimming Pool in Swansea. A warm welcome to you all. This is live coverage from Quipu TV, and this is the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013. We'll also have all the highlights package waiting for you on YouTube if you want to get involved. Once again, Quipu TV is the way to go on YouTube. Also on Twitter, please get involved. If you're watching from afar or want to send any good luck messages, send them using the hashtag, which is a hashtag BGSN Live. Hashtag BGSN Live, and then we can search for them and talk about it on air later on and throughout the whole week, because there's 7 days of competition here in the Welsh National Swimming Pool in Swansea, and this is just the day one, and it's been a fantastic morning and afternoon so far. We're currently right in the middle of the boys' heats, the boys 15 to 18 meter 1500 meter freestyle. There's 3 involved in this, and Matthew Lowe from Leeds is leading the way to this, and against him Callum Brophy and Lewis Quirk, and Lewis Quirk is in second at the moment and Callum Brophy in third, but it really does look like Matthew Lowe stamping his authority on this race. We're halfway through it, and he's looking very strong, and he knows what he's doing. He's running his own race, which is always very, very important. Now, if you coming in and you're thinking, right, what's coming up later on, then please do go to swimwales.org. They'll have all the scheduled competition for the next 6 days and this afternoon, and you can also see all the results from this morning's session, which was a fantastic session with practically every race seeing PBs from not only the winners but from other competitors as well. It was truly exciting stuff first thing this morning, and the swimming pool was full of noise and full of joy. Now Norma Rolls is beside me in the commentary box, and she is the president of Swim Wales, an extremely important woman. I don't deserve to be sitting next to you. But let's touch on the volunteers again, because the games makers in the London 2012 Olympics, they got a lot of respect and a lot of applause for what they did, because they make the games, and it's the same thing, not just in this event here today, but in every event that happens within swimming.
Yeah, and if you look round, you'll find it's not just people of my age or middle age or parents. You'll see lots of young people who are not in a particular race, so they're going round putting results sheets on the walls, taking drinks round to people. So we have volunteers who start at a very early age, and we're very proud in Wales that we had Millennium volunteers and that they qualified as officials. Some of them are here today. Jacob, who's over there on the music at the moment, he was one of them, and Will is somewhere around. Will does timekeep and do other jobs, but he likes to do things like marshalling as well.
So for example, if you are a swimmer and maybe you've decided, you know, I'm not the best, I'm not good enough to be in a swimming club, which, you know, anyone can join a swimming club, we've said that already, but you want to be a volunteer, how do you go about becoming a volunteer? You
can go online and contact Lisa and volunteer to be a volunteer, and most people are welcomed with open arms. We have to be DBS vetted, of course, but we encourage swimmers to stay involved, and it's a great it's great to me to see people I saw swimming as little boys and little girls who are now officiating. They're not very old still, but they've come in to officiate now. They don't want to leave the family, so to speak, and we couldn't manage without them, so we do really need them.
Yeah, we applaud them more, don't we? It's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Fantastic stuff. Okay, we'll go back to this race now. We're 12 minutes and 50 seconds into this, and Matthew Lowe is quite comfortably ahead, but the other two are slowly catching up with him, I must admit. Lewis Quirk is in second place from Swim Swansea, and Seven Oaks' Callum Brophy is in third. Only three taking part in this first heat of the category for boys between 15 and 18 years old in the 1500 metre freestyle. And we would like a close finish for this one, especially for second place, and it looks on for second place. It's quite close, isn't it? It
is. We might get a close race for second, as you say, but I think that Matthew out there is pretty safe in the lead.
How hard is it when you're that far ahead to keep the motivation, to keep the concentration? Because there is a tendency, or there could be a tendency, to switch off.
Yes, your concentration is really important. You've got to stay on the job. You've got to keep your mind on what you're doing. Again, being able to churn out 100 metres in 1:15, for example, is a great way of keeping your concentration. You know what you've got to do. You don't let it slip, because if you do, it's the difference between a gold medal and no place at all. So it is hard, but again, it's one of the things they have to learn. It's like training. How do you keep going for an hour and a half, 2 hours training? You just have to put your mind to it. It's a mindset, and keep there.
Now, this is a great thing to be happening this weekend and this week, because the World Aquatics in Barcelona Championships are happening as well around this time. So them kind of they are clashing to a certain extent, but they kind of feed each other, don't they?
Yes, they do, because that's where our top swimmers will be. The rank who are aspiring to move into international swimming should be at Sheffield. So we've got all three levels going on at the same time, and you're just as important in this meet as they are, because you are our future, and we need you.
And it's the idea that you could come here, be inspired, and then you watch the trials in Sheffield and watch the Aquatics Championships in Barcelona, and it kind of all builds the anticipation, the excitement, and the buzz about swimming, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does. If I watched Andy Murray, obviously, and I heard the conversations afterwards where they're saying that we just don't have the depth in British tennis. In swimming, I think we do have the depth. We're constantly bringing people on so that when one retires, there's another one coming up to take their place. And it's very healthy that there are people coming up to take their place, because it keeps them on top of their game as well.
Competitiveness is a great thing, isn't it? And that's what's happening in the pool throughout the next 7 days here. A lot of competitive swimming. Over 1,700 swimmers will be making their way to Swansea, South Wales for the British Gas National Swimming Championship here, Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013. Let's go back to this race, Norma. We've got the boys 15 to 18 category, the 1500 metre freestyle, and Matthew Lowe he's far ahead, but the other two, Callum Brophy and Lewis Quirk, they've been side by side more or less throughout this race.
Yes, they have.
What will you be thinking now? Do you wait for the other one to make the move, or do you still play your own game?
Well, Lewis did make a break, and he got a couple of body lengths away, and now Callum has come back at him. I hope he's not feeling too demoralised by that, or perhaps he's decided just to, have a little rest and then I'll sprint up and get the second place. So he could be doing that, but it's Matthew is about 50 metres ahead of them both now.
Yeah. But that's what keeps you intrigued, isn't it?
It is.
We don't know what mind games they're playing. We don't know what strategy they're doing.
We don't.
So we're
right.
waiting with a bated breath to see what is the next move. And
yes.
It's brilliant stuff. It's brilliant viewing.
Well, at the moment, it's Callum who's flexing his muscles there. He's trying to pull ahead there and succeeding at the moment.
Yeah, Callum Brophy from Seven Oaks, 15 years old. All three in the pool right now are 15 years old. And Matthew Lowe from Leeds is leading the way right now. Callum Brophy in lane 4 is in second from Seven Oaks, and from Swim Wales, this is his own swimming pool, Lewis Quirk just behind Brophy in third place. We're expecting a very close finish to second and third, but it looks like Matthew Lowe is really comfortable. He's got his own race plan and it's working very well right now. And he's out far ahead. His coach will be very happy with his performance, won't he?
I would hope so. He certainly doesn't look stressed. He's swimming in a regular pattern as far as I can see. So I would have thought his coach would be pleased.
So following this, a race and an event of this magnitude, it's demanding on the body. Next week, the coach, will he go easy on him, or will he just push him straight away, get back in that pool? Or does it depend on the coach, I
think it depends on the coach and it depends on the swimmer and whereabouts they are in their programme. I mean, this is the summer. Everybody needs a bit of time off occasionally. Hopefully there will be a holiday coming up for some of them as well. But, you don't need to be away from it for too long, otherwise you lose that race fitness. You don't want to be match fit all the time, because if you are, then you're just not going to, you can't be. You can't be match fit all the time. No. So we know there are times when they are swimming slower and putting in the miles that increase that stamina.
Okay, we're coming to the close of this race. Matthew Lowe is going to take it, that's for sure. And the other two in second and third, Callum Brophy and Lewis Quirk. It's a bit of a race respectively as I named them then. So Matthew Lowe is going to win this comfortably with a place for second. Callum Brophy looks like he's going to take it. He's slowly moving away from Lewis Quirk.
He swum his own race. He knew what he was doing. He obviously didn't panic when Lewis went ahead of him, and it's paying off now. Yeah,
and Matthew Lowe is just finishing up a great swim for him. He should be very happy with that, and his time is in 19:09.24, which is a good 40 seconds or so better than his personal best. His seeded time was 19:56.61, so he'll be absolutely delighted with that. As the other two come in to finish now, it looks like Callum Brophy will take second place, and he's really pushing hard. He's left Lewis Quirk behind. It's all about the time. Let's have a look at his time. His seeded personal best time is 19:39.54, and it's going to be very close, so let's wish him all the best in this last stroke. He's going to do it. Yes, he is. There we go, 19.46, and apologies, his time was 19.3954, so he's just outside that, unlucky. But Lewis Quirk, they're beating his personal best by 1 second.
Yes, and that's considering that he led for a while, Callum for a while. He didn't take too much out of himself. He was able to come back and keep and get a PB. So that's very good.
Yeah, fantastic stuff there. So that's heat number 1 out of the way. Heat 2 is coming up shortly with 6 racers, and then heat 3 will be a full house. There'll be 8 of them involved. So as the boys gather their thoughts before they start, they enter and step onto their diving boards, and once they start, I'll tell you who's who in this pool. And off they go. So lane 1 is absent in this race. Kyle Stubbs is in 2. He's a Chester swimmer. David Flanagan from the City of Cardiff in lane 3. Cameron Frame in 4 from Kingston Swimming Club. City of Cardiff, we've got Hugh Brown in 5. From First Swimming Club, Christopher Wall in 6. And from Harrow Swimming Club, Joe Deal in lane 7. Now, if you're waiting for the next heat, I'll just remind you who's coming up. We'll have Brandon Davis, Joel Allen, Finler, Lawless Coombs, Arthur Woodcock, Ross Hoskins, Joshua Aylett, Ross Hill and James Stephen will also be racing. So if you're waiting for them, they'll be up shortly doing this stuff. So stay with us. So here we go, another heat 2 of the boys 15 to 18, 150 metre freestyle. And once again, tactics play a massive part in this, and we just don't know how it's going to go, do we, Norma?
No idea at all. It looks as though the swimmer there in lane 6, that's Christopher Wall, looks as though he's decided he's going to try and put the others off and stretch out a bit there in the front. Interesting to see if he manages to keep that going.
Yeah, it's all about stamina. I don't envy. I'm quite happy sitting here and not swimming at 1,500 metres. I must admit that.
When you see somebody who's 90 swimming 1,500, and you do, it's you think, oh, crikey, where have they got this stamina from?
Yeah, well, I must admit, I often go to my local swimming centre in Cardiff, and the international pool there, and some people just fly by me, and it truly is impressive, isn't it?
It is. They have to be seen to be believed, and they don't all. It's freestyle. In other words, you can swim anything you like, so long as it's a legal stroke. And I actually saw one master swimmer last October do 1,500 metres butterfly.
Brilliant.
Yes, and won. Her heat anyway.
Fantastic. Well, that's a years of training going into work there, but fantastic.
We couldn't believe it. We just thought she was just having a change and doing different strokes just to keep her interest going. And she was actually determined to do the whole thing in fly all the way.
Well, fantastic. She deserves a medal for that, if only if it was a heat victory. Anyway, let us know if you're watching from Scotland, England or Wales today. Let us know via Twitter if you could. The hashtag we're using, so just write your tweet and add the hashtag at the end or at the start, is hashtag BGSNLive. Hashtag BGSNLive. Send your messages saying you're watching. Send good luck wishes to anybody you know that's competing today. And even if you're a non-swimmer, we'd love to know if you're a non-swimmer watching for the first time and intrigued to get involved, because today is truly a fantastic event with people from all over the UK participating from today and the next 6 days on. So Scotland, England and Wales are all represented here in the Welsh National Pool in Swansea as we compete in the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013. Now the boys have been at it for quite a few hours now, nearly 2 hours in the 1,500 metre freestyle. And the standard so far, Norma, has been very, very good, hasn't it?
Yes, I'm very impressed. Most of them are doing personal bests, and that's incredible. I keep referring back, but when I first was involved as a coach, to see this many swimming this event would be unheard of. So to see so many of them doing this, but not only doing it, but doing it well and getting better, it's very impressive indeed.
And this will only spur other people to compete as well, I'd imagine, because they're seeing people in their social circles in school doing well, and they're thinking, well, maybe I could do this. I
hope so. I hope that's what happens. We just need to encourage everybody to have a go. It's, you just don't know till you get in there how good you might be. So it's a case of go in there and have a try.
Yeah, indeed. Try it. If you want to get involved, at Swim Wales will have all the details they want. Now there's a medal ceremony happening in the background. There we go. The first medal ceremony. I believe that is Cameron Croot. I remember his face. Is that Cameron?
Yes, that's Cameron. And the presentation was made by Viv Perry, who's a board member of Swim Wales, and a past president as well.
Okay, congratulations to Cameron Crook there, 14 years of age from Swim Swansea. He'll be delighted with that. And that medal is one to keep, isn't it? From a big event like this, he'll be delighted.
Yes, I'm sure he will. I noticed his shaven head, so he obviously was determined to do well there.
Yeah. Okay, from what I gather, the medal ceremonies will happen intermittently now, from now till the end, so we'll cross over to them as they happen, so you can see your friends and family having their moment on the podium. It's very important that we do cover that. But back to the race we've got in hand right now. It's the second heat of 3 in the boys 15 to 18-year-old category of the 1500 metre freestyle. I'll remind you who's who. We've got lane 2, there's no lane 1 in this one. Kyle Stubbs in 2, David Flanagan in 3, Cameron Frame in 4, Hugh Brown is in lane 5, Christopher Wall in 6, and Joe Deal is in lane number 7. And right about now, there seems to be a pretty scattered field.
Yes, they're spreading themselves out. Hopefully they know what they're doing and not letting others run their race for them. But then again, I am very impressed by the way these youngsters seem to know what they're doing.
Yeah, okay, we'll cross over to another medal ceremony on the right-hand side of the arena. And this is James Cross from Wigan, 12 years old, receiving his award. Congratulations to him. And also Ryan Retson winning the gold medal there. Delighted for him from First Swimming Club. It's his moment to shine, and off he goes, delighted. Good stuff there. Congratulations to them. It's very important that they get that moment, isn't it, to stand on the podium?
It is. And we had a system a while ago where they just went and collected their medals and there wasn't a ceremony. But the swimmers asked for the ceremonies to come back. And it is nice to be able to congratulate them and for them to hear the applause from other people as well.
Yeah, to have their name highlighted as well.
Yes.
It's a nice little moment, isn't it?
It is.
Right then, back to this race we go. Only 6 minutes and 50 in, so quite a way to go in this race. The qualifying times for this is quite impressive, to say the least. Every single boy, bar one, have already clocked times under 19 minutes. And in lane 4, Cameron Frame from Kingston Swimming Club has clocked a time of 17.55.96 in this race, and is the favourite because of that stat. But in race day, anything can happen, and in the 1500, as we've already seen today, things can change in literally the last 10 or 20 metres.
They can, and you might be having a bad day. You might not be feeling very well. All of these things can affect you if you've had a long journey to get here and you didn't sleep very well last night. It may well upset your race pattern and what you want to do.
Indeed, travelling conditions, these are not professional athletes. You've got to remember that. They get the preparation in the hotel, they travel early. Some of these may have literally travelled 4 hours this morning to be here.
They could well have done, yes. Because we've pointed out how all the officials are volunteers, but in that sense, so are the parents. They don't get paid for bringing their swimmers here, and it does cost some of them quite a lot of money. So it's they can come for the amount of time they can afford. It's the advantage of being in a squad is that you do get time to acclimatise. So
now back to this race. From what we gather here from the commentary point, Joe Deal in lane 7 is leading the way, and he's quite comfortable at the moment, but he is being chased by lane 6, Christopher Wall. He's not letting him go just yet. So it's about between these two, but also in lane number 3 we have David Flanagan, and he's not really letting go. He's going to chase them as well. It's not over. The story is still being scripted here in this event, heat number 2 of 3 in the 1500 metre freestyle. But Joe Deal's gone for it again. A lot of them have gone out early and just hung on for them. It seems to be a popular tactic because there's less pressure in that and less kind of sprint factor at the end.
yes, if you go out too quickly though, you could wear yourself out and not have enough left to finish. So he's got to be very confident of his own ability to do that. As we've said before, we don't know when he set the time that's been posted there. He could have beaten that a couple of weeks ago. He could be on his best form at the moment. and we just don't know that. So if it was an international swimmer, we'd know where they'd been and what they'd done, but we don't.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because from the seeded time, and as Norma's just said, we don't know when this was posted. It could have been years ago. He's actually the slowest racer with a seeded time, but that really, in essence, doesn't mean anything today.
No, it doesn't. We don't know when he set that time, and we don't know how much training he's done since. We don't know how his body has developed since. All these things are all factors.
So it's a massive event here today, and one I'm sure you're very proud to have in Wales. How proud are you that we can host such a massive event in Swansea?
Very, very. Sometimes I feel as though I'm going to burst. It's so it's so fantastic, to the way swimming in Wales has developed in the years I've been involved. It's amazing. It's just amazing. The size, the depth, everything. And if I see, I call them my swimmers. If I see one of them up there on a podium in Barcelona or London 2012, I burst with pride almost. It's fantastic to see.
And your aims this year from Swim Wales, or your guidelines that you've set, are very clear. And you look at them, and they're quite big figures, to be fair, but they are definitely achievable, especially from coming to an event like this and seeing what's in place.
Yes.
I'll remind those listening and watching of the aims you set out. You aim for every 11-year-old to be a swimmer by 2012. That's something that's definitely achievable, isn't it?
Yes, and it's very important as well. It can save your life. If you can swim, it could save your life. That's how my daughter got involved. She was a dab hand at getting lost and disappearing across a field, and the sea was at the other end of it. As she could swim, we knew she could look after herself in the water. So if for nothing else, for your own personal safety, it's vitally important to be able to swim. And who knows, you might be the Olympian in 12 years' time. It just might be the beginning of a career for you.
Fantastic. And now to bring home 7 medals from the 2014 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow is another aim that you've set in from Swim Wales. And looking at the stars that we have in Wales, 7 is achievable, I would say.
It is. I was up in Glasgow, not at the big pool, but in East Kilbride a couple of months ago. And we had our top girls relay team, and they were brilliant. They outshone the best teams in Scotland and Ireland. So it's there. They've begun to do it. And what we need is to keep it going, keep the depth going. Those girls and some of the boys, like Yeyan, for example, they're setting the times now, and that must be their focus. That's what they're aiming for, and I'm sure they will do that.
Brilliant. I look forward to the Commonwealth Games in a year's time in Glasgow. Also, another aim you have is to boost membership of Swim Wales from 10,000 to 100,000 by 2020. Now, this is not just swimming we're talking about here. This is broad aquatics as well, isn't it? So explain the term broad aquatics to us.
Well, it covers everything. I mean, water polo, diving, synchronized swimming, all involved in aquatics. And a lot of them, if I turn up at an event, which I do occasionally, they don't know I'm their president as well. I'm associated with swimming, but I'm not. I'm actually the Swim Wales president. And if you belong to a water polo club, well, I'm your president as well. So it is achievable. Water polo, for example, as I've mentioned, is coming back. And they're starting with the younger ones again and getting them interested. That's another way of getting people involved. And it's highly competitive, fast and furious, and it can be quite dangerous, I think, when I've watched it anyway.
Well, I must admit with you, I often play water polo on my holiday against all the foreigners there, so the Italians and the Germans, and they absolutely love it. But it's an absolute fantastic game.
Yes.
And why not play it in Wales? I mean, we've got the skill sets, on the rugby field to pass the ball around, and most of us can swim, so why not get involved? Why can't that become a massive sport in Wales?
It's on the increase again. I think it was bigger at one point, and then it seems to have dwindled. But it's coming back again. I know that there are they're trying to get a little league going in North Wales, for example, and it's good. It's good. We want people involved in every aspect of the sport. we want a top diver next, I think.
Yeah, that would be good. Our very own Tom Daly. That would be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Well, it's a long time since we had Robert Morgan. He was our top diver. I remember him diving at the closing of the Empire Pool in Cardiff, and absolutely brilliant. By that time, mainly his competitive career was over, but he and other friends were doing more or less acrobatics on those diving boards, and it was amazing to see the skill. So we need to get that back.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to be in part of a kind of a test program for highboard diving, and you know what they're doing at the moment. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is poaching gymnasts that are not quite good enough in the field of gymnastics and taking them over to highboard diving, which is a great idea, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And if you've, I watched an early years diving competition last year in City of Bangor, and you need a certain amount of courage because you're going from a very high place. Excuse me, sorry. And but if you need to be flexible. You need to be able to pike quite easily. You need to be able to turn easily, and the help you get from gymnastics is amazing in that. It helps swimmers too. It keeps them flexible and loose, so they do go together well.
Fantastic stuff, Norma. Thank you very much for the little while. I'll let you concentrate on the race for a little bit and see what's happening. It's very competitive. I'll remind you of who's in what lane. We've got Kyle Stubbs in lane 2, David Flanagan in 3, Cameron Frame in 4, Hugh Brown in 5, Christopher Wall in 6, and Joe Deal in lane number 7. Now, if you're watching and want to tell us that you're watching, please get involved on Twitter. We'd like you to tweet your tweets, and then hashtag them BGSN Live. Tell us your thoughts. Send your good luck messages to whoever you know competing today, and we'll retweet them away and get them out to the necessary places. It's a fantastic event today, so please do show your support if you are watching. Also, if you want to see the results or the schedule for the coming week, then check out swimwales.org. All the information you need will be there. Or catch up with today's action by visiting youtube.com Quipu TV. That's the place you want to go if you want to check out what you've missed already. But hopefully you're enjoying the action we've got. And there's the bell for lane number 6, and that is Christopher Wall, 16.40. He's going well, isn't he, Norma?
He is. He's going very well, and I think if I remember rightly, he's the one who went out first in the lead, and he stayed there. So obviously confident in what he's doing and knowing what he's capable of.
Yeah, and David Flanagan in lane number 3 is in second place at the moment. He'll be happy with his swim, but it looks at this stage that Christopher Wall, with about 60 metres to go, is going to take this victory. He's from First Swimming Club. He's 15 years of age. His personal best is 18:07.35 in this, and he's well on course to beating this time.
Yes, he is. Yes.
So here he comes in the final stretch now. With maybe the race is over, but for him it's definitely not, because he'll want to achieve his aims. They all set personal targets, and a personal best will probably have been his target first thing this morning, and he's going well, and he's looking very, very strong to beat that.
And I can never get over how strongly 1500 metre swimmers kick these days. That's really impressive, but he obviously paced that really well. He looks shattered,
yeah,
but he was kicking hard right up to the very end.
Fantastic stuff. So the winner of heat number 2 in the boys 15 to 18 years old, 1,500 metre freestyle is Christopher Wall from First Swimming Club. He'll be delighted with that. And in second place, David Flanagan from the City of Cardiff. He'll be happy with that, and he took a second off his personal best as well, which is always good, isn't it?
It's always good. Anything helps, and as you get older, you take less off your personal best. So, anybody with a personal best is pleased with what they've done,
yeah,
or should be.
Yeah, at the end of the day, a personal best is a personal best.
Exactly.
So we'll get the official results up for you on screen to clarify every single position any second now. But once again, these boys showing that even at the age of 15, that they can race a race with a great level of maturity.
Yes, absolutely. It's amazing. I mean, it was you used to just see people who specialise this and they were older, but now you get them as young as 12 doing it, and they're really good. They know what they're doing. It's always impressive to see.
Fantastic stuff. So we've just got lane number 7 to finish up here. He'll be racing his own race. And the crowd, fair play, giving them some support all the way to the end, which is always nice to see. And that's the thing about the crowd, they're very friendly and very supportive, aren't they?
That's right, and we encourage that in Wales. We keep telling them we're having a competition, but no one's ever given anything. But we encourage people to come along and cheer and really get things going. We've got a relay later on, and that's one of my favourites to commentate on, and we really wind the crowd up and get them involved in it. And it's good to hear, and it's good to watch.
Indeed. Now the final swimmer's coming in now, which is Joe Deal. Now personal bests have been broken in practically every race, as I said today, but it's a taking part that matters as well, and it's great to see so many people here today in such a huge event. It's really big, isn't it?
It is. It's the biggest one that I've seen down here, and it's really good for Welsh swimming. It's just looking where Joe's come from, Harrow. So he's come over from London, and he may well have had a tiring journey. We don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Fair play to him. So there they go. That heat is over. That was the second heat of 3 in this discipline for boys between 15 and 18 in the 150 metres for freestyle. 1,500. Am I saying it right? 1,500. There you go. Metre freestyle. And the results are now up on the wall. Christopher Wall in first, David Flanagan in second, and Hugh Brown third. Cameron Frame fourth, Kyle Stubbs 5, and Joe Deal in 6th position. Now here we go, the final heat in this discipline, the third one, and I'll tell you who's who in this race. In lane 1 we've got Brandon Davis, Joel Allen in lane 2, Finla Lawless Coombs in 3, Arthur Woodcock in 4, Ross Hoskins in 5, Joshua Aylett in 6, Ross Hill in 7, and James F. Stephen in lane number 8. Now if you're watching online, please tweet us. The hashtag we're using today is hashtag BGSN Live, so please get involved on that. Let us know where you're watching from, so you could look to your loved ones or your family or friends or to a swimming club that perhaps you used to swim with or you're still involved with. Let us know you're watching, because when they check Twitter later on, they'll want to know who is watching from afar, because we are aware there's people watching from Scotland, England and Wales today, and that's fantastic in itself. The people can watch online from as far as Scotland and England.
It is, yes. I mean, because if everybody came along, we couldn't possibly accommodate them, so it is fantastic that the wider members of families and clubs can actually see their own swimmers performing and how well they're doing. It's absolutely fantastic.
You were talking about the relay just then, Norma. You're saying it's your favourite. Tell me why is that your favourite?
Because you can make it so exciting, and it is exciting, and that is an unknown quantity. Unless there's specific rules that say you must swim your fastest swimmer last, you don't know what the team tactic is. They might decide to send out somebody fast. They're 2 middling swimmers in the middle, and they're very fastest at the end.
Yeah.
So the dynamic can change from start to finish, and you can see somebody who you're expecting to win be defeated by the better tactics of another one. And then you've got the start as well. You mustn't take over too soon. And it's very difficult when you're announcing not to go when you see somebody make a faulty changeover. So
yeah. Well, you get absorbed in it, don't you? Especially when there's so much tension, and every changeover is important, and every leg is completely different.
It is, and I just enjoy watching it, and everybody gets involved as well. So it's exciting, and we all like something that's really exciting.
Yeah,
this is an example of stamina and work and mindset. A relay is fast and furious, and it's good contrast. Yeah,
fantastic stuff. Swimming's got that. That's the great thing about swimming. It offers you a varied vocabulary, if you like, of skills, and that gets highlighted throughout the day of activities, doesn't it?
That's right. And we started off this morning with all those 50s, and there were a huge number of them. And to be honest, when you get to the end of them, you think, phew, you can relax a little bit now and get on with some of these slower events. They all make a good varied pattern that keeps people involved.
Right then, I'll remind you of who was involved in this final heat of the 1500 metre freestyle for boys between 15 and 18 years of age. We've got Brandon Davis in lane number 1, Joel Allen in 2, we've got Finley Lawless Coombs in 3, Arthur Woodcock in 4, Ross Hoskins in 5, Joshua Aylett in 6, Ross Hill in 7, and James F. Stephen in lane number 8. And so far, it looks like the lane number 6, Joshua Aylett, has kind of set in the pace a bit, but lane number 2 is also keen to keep involved. Joel Allen from Leicester is there. They're not going as far as the others. In the last few races, they've gone high, right in the front, and they've kind of led from the straight. But this one looks that it's still interesting, and no one's really going to make the clean break early on.
They're a little bit older, so perhaps they're being a little bit more cagey about the way they do it. And again, we just don't know what their background is and how they're coming into this race. It may well be that Joshua there just wants to say to everybody else, I'm out here, come and get me. It might be the others saying, you go out there, Josh, you wear yourself out, and we'll catch up when we're ready. You just don't know what's in their minds.
Yeah, we touched on it earlier. That's what makes this event so intriguing, that nobody knows. No one's wearing a T-shirt or a poster saying this is what I'm doing in this race. It's
That's
all
right.
secret, isn't it?
It is. I mean, as you get to top-notch competition, you'll be aware of what people are doing and what they're capable of. Even so, you still get surprises, but you'll be more aware of it. At this age, it's every race is different, and it can be more interesting because of that.
Do you find that certain swim clubs swim to a certain tactic, that they all kind of show a pattern through their swim club, or is it completely varied from swimmer to swimmer, from coach to coach?
I think really it varies from swimmer to swimmer and coach to coach. You will get some who, a coach who specialises possibly in one stroke. I always loved coaching breaststroke. But you have to be an all-round coach. You have to coach all the strokes to be fair to all the swimmers. And not many people are in the position of being able to have a specialist in each stroke. So they will probably... You can sometimes recognise a club that they come from, but I don't think it's that easy. I think it varies all the time.
Okay, fair enough. Now then, if you're watching and you know somebody that's competing today, then make sure you make them aware that they can watch themselves back on youtube.com/Quipu TV tonight. They can go home, put that YouTube channel on, and they can watch themselves, because all the highlights will be waiting for them. And this is going to be happening all throughout the week, the next 6 days. This is day 1 of 7, so 7 days of competitive swimming here in the Welsh National Pool in Swansea. British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013, and nearly 1,700 swimmers will be competing and jumping into this gorgeous blue pool we have here in Swansea throughout the next 7 days, which is absolutely extraordinary and an amazing fact in itself. Also remember, on Twitter you can let people know, or give people a shout out, or just spread the word, the good word of swimming, on hashtag BGSN Live. If you hashtag that, they'll all go to one group on the web, and every tweet about that will be there. Even if you're not involved on Twitter and you're watching today, you can even search that. If you put Twitter in and put that hashtag, an internet page will come up with all the tweets about the event here today. So even if you're not a Twitter follower, you're not involved in Twitter, not signed in, you can see all the positive tweets that will be trending on the internet on Twitter. That's hashtag BGSN Live. So make sure you either hashtag that yourselves or get involved yourselves. Okay, let's turn our attention back to this race, the third heat in the 1500 freestyle for boys between 15 and 18. We're 7 minutes and 15 seconds in, Norma, and how's it looking?
Well, Josh is still out there in the lead, but we've got an interesting situation whereby we've got Ross Hill and Joel Allen virtually stroke for stroke. Actually, as I speak, Ross is now coming back at Joshua, so I think he's gone ahead of Joel. But that happens in commentating. You're talking and they change dynamic completely.
They're cheeky, aren't they, when they do that?
They are,
but
yes.
They've got every right to do that, and that's why we're here, because sport is drama within itself, and it evolves second by second, and that's why we love it. So on the turn there, that's lane number 6 in the lead, and lane number 6 is Joshua Aylett from Peterborough. He's looking very strong, but so do the others, to be fair. Every single lane looks quite composed, strong, and technique-wise, they're looking very solid.
Yes, they are. Good training. from the coach's point of view and from the swimmer's point of view. Good attention to detail. They're not stressed out at all.
So as we go to the turn on the other side of the pool, it's lane 2 and lane 7 are also involved, second neck and neck, as Norma just said. That's Joe Allen and Ross Hill. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this race develops. All these boys have clock times of 17 minutes plus in their time. No one is over 18 minutes in their personal best times. So this is a very, very high standard of race, and these guys will know their race plan, won't they?
They will. By now they should know what they're doing and should be aiming to break into the next level as well. So we might be looking at the next Olympian here, you don't know.
Yeah, that's very exciting, the thought of that. And that's the exciting thing, I suppose, for you in your job to be involved in Swim Wales, that
yes.
you can see someone of the age of 11 and one day he's a superstar, like you mentioned David Davis earlier.
Yes, that's right. And although Ellie Simmons isn't technically Welsh, she did all of her training here until recently. It's delightful to see her go on now. I think it's, is it Lampeter she's going to? Fantastic to see her going there and developing. So yeah, it's wonderful because when you've met them, it makes it even nicer to see the progression as well. It's they're levelling up now. Look, it's I think they're cutting back on Joshua's lead a bit here.
Yeah, this race is getting very, very interesting now. In lane 6, Joshua Aylett did start very, very fast, but now the others are catching up. They're cutting back on his lead. In lane number 7, in particular, Ross Hill, he's taking the chase to him, and he's from Chase Swimming Club as well.
Yes.
See what I did there?
Yeah, very good, very good.
But also lane number 2 and 5, you've got Joel Allen and Ross Hoskins and Arthur Woodcock. They're all getting involved. They're not letting him go at all by any extent, are they, Norma?
No, it's coming back to more of a level playing field again. So this race is definitely not over.
This could be one of them races which you mentioned earlier that, you know, we've got a leader, he could lead all the way, but this could be flipped completely, couldn't it?
Yes, it could. Yeah, they keep you on your toes.
There's 5 there now. We're looking at lane 2, we're looking at lane 3, we're looking at lane 4, 5 and 6, and even 8 there getting involved.
Yeah.
This is going to be very close. So when
is.
you're that close in the water, it's important not to panic, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I'd find it encouraging and just to, want to go that little bit faster. I think if you can keep in touch, if you can keep on level terms, then when you feel you have a surge to make, you're in a position to do it. It must be demoralising if they're a whole length ahead and you're out of touch, but here they're all pretty much in touch with him.
Like psychologically for Joshua Aylett, who went ahead by quite a bit, he won't be he might be aware of a few of them coming back at him now, but if he fell behind, he's got to show some real character then to dig back again, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. And on that turn there, he probably take the opportunity to have a bit of a look around. But we have lane 5, isn't it? Ross Hosking.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he's sneaked into second place now.
Yeah, Ross Hoskins is definitely in second place now. So we've got Joshua Aylett in lane 6 ahead. Ross Hoskins in lane 5 in second place. And then it's really neck and neck, stroke by stroke. Lane 2, we've got Joe Allen. In 3, Finley Lawless Coombs is involved. And even Ross Hill in 7 is in the mix. So this is going to be very, very exciting. It's a great finish. We're only halfway, well, just over halfway in this race. About 5 minutes to go, I'd imagine. So we're over the quarter stage of this race. Yeah. And is now the time that you think, right, this is tactic time, how do I play this?
Well, to be honest, I've never actually swum this. But if I've got the energy at this stage, yeah, this is where I'd start to go from. Ross actually got the slightly ahead on that last turn.
Yeah.
And then Josh came back a little bit. So it'd be interesting to see what happens on this one. Yeah. But definitely Ross's feet touched before Josh.
Yeah. Well, Ross Hoskins there, 12.2965, and Joshua Aylett in second now, 12.2990. So there's literally nothing in this race.
0.3 of a second is nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So it's up to one of them now to make that move, to show that they got the stamina and the strength to really put their stamp on this race and say, no, I'm winning this, not you, back off. But right now, both competitors are going at it hammer and tongs, stroke by stroke. There's literally a nail at them, and if now, by the turn, I slowly think that Ross Hoskins in lane 5 is making a move. Yes, he's stretched his lead by a second or so. That's very encouraging to see that, isn't it, for him?
Yes, and if he's in a good lane, he might even be able to see that. Although I don't think they'll be concentrating on that, but he'll know he's ahead, and he's not going mad. He's not going hammer and tongs.
No, he's not.
He's just taking his time and stretching and gradually pulling away, and that's good.
Yeah, them 3 in shot, they're taking their time. They look very controlled, and once again, technique is so important, and especially when you're tired, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And Ross now he was almost a body length up, but Josh does turn well. He executes some good turns.
A tired turn could be the difference in this race right now. A tired turn could really blow it for one of them.
It could.
Technique-wise, in doing these tumble turns, how often do they practice them, or does that become second nature?
Well, it should become second nature, because every time they're swimming a distance, they're doing these turns. And these boys doing 1500 will do an awful lot. So it should. And it's one thing that I would always try to pick up on if there is a problem with the turn, because it can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, now Ross Hoskins is really putting his stamp on this race. 14.12 he was at the turn, while Joshua Aylett was 14.15. He's really showing his strength here. His game plan was clear from the start. He wasn't phased at all with Joshua Aylett going off first, was he?
No. It's very good to see.
So here we go, we're not long to go in this race now. In first place we have Ross Hoskins from Mould in North Wales, 17 years of age. In second place, Joshua Aylett from Peterborough, he's 16 years old. And in third place, in lane number 7, we have Ross Hill. He's only 15 years of age, one of the youngest competitors in this race, along with James F. Stevens. And they'll 3 of them really go in. But the race for third place is also still involved, because it's right in the mix. In lane 2 and in lane 3, we have Joel Allen and Finlay Lawless Coombs. And they could really test Ross Hill for that third place.
They could, yes. This is one of the most exciting heats we've had. Some very good swimming, but all these swimmers staying in contention right till the last possible moment makes it very good for the crowd to watch.
Indeed, they've kept us, they kind of played the strategy game, and now they're starting to show their cards. And Ross Hoskins' card is the trump card at the moment, and he is really extending it, but they're not letting him go. He's trying his best, he looks good. He looks very composed there, because he's not thrashing in the pool.
No,
perhaps others are starting to look a bit tired, but he looks very controlled.
On the last turn at this end, as he came out, he went a bit, he'll definitely go harder now, because that's the bell. But see the big kick there. Yeah.
100 metres to go. This is the time to go for it, boys, to leave nothing in that energy tank. They've done 28 or so lengths of this pool. 29 is on now, and 30 will be back. It's a lot of hard work, and these guys are pushing their bodies to the limit. Ross Hoskins from Mould, 70 years of age, in lane 5 is leading the way, but after him is the rest of the field in lane 2, 3, 7 and 6. The boys are after him, and this is it. The last 50, Norma, he'll really go for it, won't he?
Yeah, he's got 5 metres up now on Josh. I can't see that Josh will come back, but you never know, as I've said before. But he's really going hard now. I think the battle is for third place.
Yeah, indeed it is, because Joshua Aylett looks like he's fading a little bit now. And lane 2, Joe Allen and Finlay Lawless Coombs in 3 are really going to push him all the way. It's going to be a victory for Ross Hoskins in lane 5. Joshua Aylett looks like he's going to hold on, but for third place between lane 2 and 3 is very, very close. Joe Allen or Finlay Lawless Coombs, I couldn't call it myself. But that is a great finish to a very, very exciting race. That was superb, Norma.
It was, yeah. I think, according to the scoreboard, Finlay Lawless Coombs took third there. But that's just what you see at the end of a 1500 these days, and you never did in the past. It shows you how much it's improved and how well these people swim.
Absolutely superb. Them boys are all absolutely shattered, and they all deserve a round of applause for that.
And that's good to see, because we know they've put their best effort in from start to finish of the race.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. That was possibly the most exciting race I've ever seen. It was
Yes,
so good
yeah, it
because
was.
there was 5 of them at one stage that really could have gone to first place and really pushed for it. But the official results are in. Ross Hoskins in first place, Joshua Aylett in second place, and Finlay Lawless Coombs in third place. It was very, very exciting, and 17.0281 the winning time by Ross Hoskins, and that is another personal best. It keeps happening. The standard is so high.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And wonderful for them, because they'll go out of here, I hope they'll go out of here feeling that they've done a good job and that they've got what they need out of it. The medal will be a bonus. The fact they've got that personal best, that's the important thing.
Yeah, quite a few of them in that race breaking their personal best, and that's fantastic to see. Joshua Aylett in second place beat his personal best. Also Lawless Coombs beat his personal best, and I think I could go on and on. I'll look to fourth place now. Joe Allen, 17.07, and yes, he also beat his personal best. It's quite staggering the work they put in, and it's nice to see that the standard of is so high they're all pushing each other to break these personal bests.
Yeah, but they were all out of breath at the end. They were all breathing heavily, but look, they're walking away. They don't look under any sort of stress whatsoever. They're just walking back to their team. And they're going to, I hope, get changed quickly, and then we'll have another medal ceremony.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? What a fantastic race to finish the boys 15 to 18 years of age of 1500 metre freestyle there. Norma, overall, I know we've said it and we sound like a stuck record, but the standard is extremely high. That race was the pinnacle so far, because it was fantastic. Yes. And it shows the standard. It's just amazing.
Yes, it does. And that's it. To be able to sprint like that at the end of 1500 metres shows the level of stamina and commitment, and it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Right, great stuff there. Norma Rolls, President of Swim Wales, has been with me all afternoon. You've been great company, so thank you very much for your time. If you are watching online right now, let us know please, and use the hashtag to let us know. The hashtag is hashtag. It's important you put the hashtag in. Without the hashtag, it won't start trending, and that's what we want. We want this event to go global. Hashtag BGSN Live. Let's get it trending in Wales first of all, then into England and Scotland, and then throughout the whole of UK. Hashtag BGSN Live. Send your messages, support, tell us where you're watching from, whatever they are, just let us know and use that hashtag. Hashtag BGSN Live. Now, we're here in Swansea at the moment from the Wales National Pool. British Gas's Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013, and it's been a fantastic event so far. The swimmers have stayed around, as you can see on the screen, to support each other, and they'll be here all day and all week, some of them, as their competitive action continues till next Saturday. 7 days of competitive swimming. I can't believe it. It's so we used to do this for 3-4 days, and it's gradually got bigger and bigger. I can hardly see the week stretching in front of me. Well, there you go. That shows you the growth in the sport of swimming so far in the UK, and I'm sure it'll only continue to grow and grow. Also, if you're watching online and you've just joined us, then there will be a highlights package of some sort on youtube.com, Quipu TV. So please do check that out. If you know someone that swam and they haven't seen themselves swimming, because obviously they're busy swimming, tell them about it and they can check themselves out later on. Because that's an interesting thing, isn't it? Watching yourself back. I know golfers do a lot, they check their swings out, but it's interesting for a swimmer to see their own technique and see where they look tired. And yes, and quite often you'll say to a swimmer, you're doing this with your hand. They, no, I'm not. And then you show them the proof. And that makes all the difference. You can think you're doing the right thing. But you need to be able to see it. Okay, we've got medal ceremonies coming up, so please stay with us. Don't leave us yet. We will be finishing our coverage shortly for a wee while, but the medal ceremonies are on their way, so we're going to try and stick around for them, because, as we said earlier, Norma, that moment of standing on the podium with that gold medal or silver or bronze medal, that's the moment that kind of stays with you, isn't it? It is, and we try to make every medal ceremony as special. If it's your first time or your 10th time up there, we want to make each one special, because it is special. You, for that amount of time, are the best in your group.
and you can't do more than that, can you?
No, you definitely can't. With these personal bests and things like that, all that does is make people motivated to improve and improve, isn't it?
I hope so. That's the idea of it. I think we're gradually, health and safety and the other brigades, we're taking it out. We're milking everything down. Children need to be competitive. If you can't handle losing as well as winning, it doesn't make a rounded adult. It's very important indeed that they are competitive, and that the person who came second says, I am going to beat you next time, and the person who comes eighth says, I'm going to be first next time. It gives them something to aim for.
Well, I know that Ryan Giggs, the footballer, for example, if he ever gets to a final and he loses, those are the medals that he keeps on display. He throws the gold, well, doesn't throw them away, the gold-winning medals, but he puts them in a drawer, and he keeps the losers, because that's what makes him strive on to become a better footballer and want to win.
That's right, and I think that's a good thing to do. Always just remind yourself, where you need to go. It's like when you're dieting and you put a picture of the shape you'd like to be on the fridge. It just motivates you.
Well, there you go. We are eagerly awaiting the medal ceremony, so hopefully they will be happening any minute now, so we can give the respect the winners deserve and give them their moment of glory on the podium. You can see a few of the winners standing by to accept their medals, so that will happen any second now. But if you want to give a winner a shout out, once again, get involved on Twitter, #BGSNLive, and take a screen grab or something of your computer, or if you've got an Android app that can take a screen grab, do it, because they might not get that moment. Okay, so we've got the first medal ceremony now. Coming up onto stage is in third place. I'm not quite sure who this is, I'll be completely honest with you. So we'll have a look at our stats here. So that was Joel Allen there in third place, and this is Finley Lawless Coombs. And this was a great race as well, wasn't it? This was when we went right to the wire, and Joshua Aylett, the winner, will be coming up now, and he went out early and commanded it, really, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
There you go, Joshua Aylett there. His moment in glory, number 1. Let's see if he cracks a smile. I'm sure he will.
And we've even got a special screen for the medal ceremony.
Oh, fantastic stuff. There you go. Well, that's the moment that everyone strives for. That's the picture that it will be in the paper if you're an Olympian. That is you on the rostrum, on the podium.
Yeah.
And that's what you want, and it's great to see them have their moment here today.
Yeah. And we've only got one medalist in the 17-18 age group, but he's the one who dominated that last heat. He'll be coming up to get his medal in a moment.
Yeah, that is Ross Hoskins from Mould, who really went for it, and his final time was 17.02.81. He smashed his personal best, and there he is on the podium. We'll have a shot of him any second now. There he is. He looks completely fine, as if he's just woken up as fresh as a rose, isn't he?
He is. It's amazing, isn't it? But that's the calibre of the swimmer.
Yeah.
If he's worked hard and he can recover quickly as well.
Yeah, a superb effort from Ross Hoskins there. Great stuff. And congratulations to all the winners today, and to everyone who made the podiums, and also to everyone who's taken part, because it's great to have so many people here taking part today. And it's put such a big smile on Norma's face as she's the president of Swim Wales. And it genuinely does make you happy, and so
yes,
it should.
It does. I'm very proud of them all. I'm proud of everybody who's involved, and I'm really thrilled with them. And it's been a great day.
Indeed. Okay, so we're coming to the end now of this session here in the British Gas Swim Wales Nationals 2013. A very exciting session we just had then. And a brief word, if we may, Norma, about the standard. And the standard, because so many people are getting involved, the standard is raising?
I think so. We need constantly officials and teachers and coaches. We need to encourage people to come on board and start. You have to start at the bottom and work your way up. But unless we keep improving our ground base in teaching, coaching, officiating, you won't have the equipment there to bring the swimmers on. So it's vitally important that everything works together.
Brilliant stuff. Norma Rolls, thank you very much for your company in this afternoon session, President of Swim Wales. It's been a pleasure to have you next to me, and maybe you can give me a singing lesson later on.
Of course, anytime at all. Diolch yn fawr.
Diolch yn fawr iawn I chi. Thank you very much. We'll be back later on for the finals and the evening session. We hope you've all enjoyed that, the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals 2013. Meanwhile, as we're off air, if you like, you can keep up to date with all the results at swimwales.org, or catch up with today's action by visiting youtube.com/QuipuTV. And don't forget to keep tweeting #BGSNLive to tell us your thoughts about today. And once again, Norma, thank you very much to you. But for now, from the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals, it's goodbye, and we'll see you very soon.
Thank you very much. British Gas, they've got a great aim. They want to get more people swimming regularly by 2015. So in order to take part in Swim Britain, you've got a team challenge. There's 4 of you. You've all got to swim 1,000 metres. You do 250 metres each in a relay until you've done the 1,000 metres. Swim Britain is going to help you get fitter and healthier, and they're even going to give you tips along the way. It's all going to accumulate in 10 events in September at venues across the country. Now, logistics of this event are super easy. You're going to get a swimming cap, a t-shirt and a time and chip. You pick them up at the venue on the day. So all you need to think about is the regular stuff. Your swimming goggles and a pair of trunks. You could wear these, or perhaps some of these. You might want 2 towels as well instead of 1. So you'll need 1 towel for poolside and also a towel for when you get changed at the end. Maybe a bit of shampoo as well. And last but not least, make sure you take some water with you. So how does the Swim Britain relay work? Well, you've got to get your teammates. Here's one of mine, me Chris, just happens to be an international swimmer. I'll have some of that. He's going to lead off. Let's go, Chris. Yes. When he's done his 250 metres, he's got to make sure that his timing chip registers. Don't worry, there'll be people there on the day to make sure that that happens. Chris is then going to walk over to his second teammate, who's going to be in the transition area, and he's going to give him a high five. Nice high five. Then Chris is done. He's good to go. He can go have a little bit of a rest. It's going to get very crowded if all of you are waiting at the end of the pool. So we've got a rule. Only the person that's swimming next can be in the transition zone. So Swim Britain's going to be like no event you've ever done before, largely because of these bad boys. They're actually called boys, and you're going to have to swim around them. When you're swimming down the pool, you've got to keep the buoy to your left-hand side. And when you're swimming back up the pool, you've got to keep it to your right-hand side. Just keep an eye out for them. Big orange things, can't miss them. Stay as tight as you can to the buoy. You've only got to swim 250 metres. There's no point swimming any more than that if you don't have to. Once you've got your team together, make sure you get the opportunity to train together. Set yourself both an individual goal. You know what? Challenge the other guys on your team as well. You might surprise yourself and with some good training, beat the time that you thought you were going to go. What about making some hoodies with your team name on there? You're taking on everyone else in Swim Britain. You've got to get in there with the right frame of mind. Maybe you want to go in some fancy dress. I don't suggest you swim in the fancy dress. That might slow you down a little bit. Maybe you can even come up with your own song, you know. I can see all 4 of you doing the Gangnam Style. Maybe not. But most of all, make sure there's some cracking banter between you and your teammates, and let's maximise the fun that we're going to have on Swim Britain. Good luck and enjoy.